The following is a live sports presentation of Glycod. GLICOD.com.
Glycod's coverage of Interstate Battery's Southern Indiana high school football starts now. Presented by Jim Butner Auto Group.
Good evening and welcome to Silver Creek High School, the home of the Dragons, as the Dragons welcome the Providence Pioneers here on a Friday night football action. Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek with you this evening. Happy to be here back at Silver Creek again in week 3 of Indiana high school football. Jim, good to be with you again tonight. No rain. That's good.
No rain. We're close to home. This is a great night. It's a beautiful night for a high school football game.
We've got the best of both worlds as two teams take on one another that promise, at least on paper, to be a pretty good ball game tonight.
Well, and you know, this is another one of those rivalry games. Silver Creek, Charlestown, Silver Creek, Providence, Silver Creek, Clarksville. All those teams are all within the same geographic area. It makes for a good, interesting rivalry. A lot of these kids know each other from camps and other activities, basketball, running track. So, yeah, it makes for a good game.
Silver Creek's opened up the season with 2 wins. They opened up with Charlestown, got a big win that night, held on last week with a little bit of depleted roster. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Against Salem, got the win. Providence missed out on the opening week because they had scheduled a Kentucky team. They are not playing, so they started last week at Floyd Central against a very, very good Floyd Central team. Took it on the chin.
Yeah, you really couldn't have picked the worst team to start your head coaching career at a school and the first game of the season. Floyd's going to be one of the top teams in southern Indiana. But, I talked to the coach, and he was pleased with the kids' effort and the way they played the game. So good for him and good for the kids.
All right, well, we're going to head and take our first break. When we come back, we'll have your interviews with both Coach McDonald and Coach Pappenhouse. All our pregame coming at you shortly. And by the way, before I forget to tell you, how could I forget how perfect the night is? Our tonight's weather forecast is provided tonight by The Locker Room, your place for screen printing and embroidery in historic downtown Jeff. Visit them at 319 Spring Street or give them a call at 812-282-8600. Clear skies, 78 degrees. It is perfect on this September 4th night. We'll take a break and be back with your interview with Coach McDonald right after this on Glycod.
The Locker Room is proud to be a supporter of high school sports on Glycod. Located at 319 Spring Street in historic Jeff, the Locker Room has been in business for over 40 years and was Southern Indiana's first screen printer. They specialize in wholesale screen printing, t-shirts, and have a full-time graphic artist on staff. Owned by David Oram, the Locker Room invites you to team up with the best. For more information, call 812-282-8600. That's 812-282-8600.
The Clark County Youth Coalition, Clark County's local coordinating council for a drug-free Indiana, presents What's Your Side Effect? Join the movement of thousands of young people working together to build a better world through living healthy, passionate, drug-free lifestyles. Our program includes tips that will help you live the good life and make chasing your dreams a lot easier. Get healthy, get inspired, get the facts at what'syoursideeffect.org.
Funding provided by the State of Indiana Division of Mental Health and Addiction.
Hey, who are you?
Oh, hey, Jeff, I'm a car thief.
What?
I'm here to steal your car because, well, that's my job.
What?
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 It happens. And if you got cut rate car insurance, paying for this could feel like getting robbed twice. So get Allstate. And be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Call Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today at 812-282-2970. Subject to terms, conditions, and coverage selected. This edition of Coach's Comments is brought to you by Allstate agent Packy Page, with offices in Floyd Snobs and Jeffersonville. To find out how Allstate can put you in good hands, or for a free quote, call Packy at 812-202-7271.
This is Coach Dan McDonald from Providence Pioneers. Coach, You're not a first-year head coach. This is actually your second stint as a head football coach, but it's actually your first year at Providence. You had a kind of an interesting start because you didn't get to play your first game of the season. When I was coaching, I always said I could tell the most about my team from week 1 to week 2. Have you been able to do that now with this team after missing your first game?
We treated the Floyd game like a second scrimmage. We looked at some different things on offense. We looked at some different personnel. What I was pleased with against Floyd was the effort, and our guys never quit. You know, we dressed 29 that week, and the effort was there, so I didn't really have much to complain about. And then in practice this week, they've come back focused, re-energized, ready to work. So in that sense, I've been proud of them because they've come back, they've brushed that week 1 loss off, and here we are.
So, Coach, I read a lot of articles after you got the job at Providence, and you talked a lot about relentless effort. Can you explain to our listeners what you mean when you're talking about the relentless effort you expect from your players?
So when you watch us play, you should be saying those guys really play hard. Whether they're fielding a kickoff, covering a kickoff, fielding a kickoff return, punting the ball, punt return, defense, offense, in all aspects of the game, all 11 players on the field should be playing hard.
And not only playing hard, but practicing hard and classroom hard, and then live their life with a relentless effort. I think that's what you
exactly
said in the
right.
newspaper article.
That's exactly right. So I put my guys on a 10-year plan. So I judge my success as a head coach, obviously off wins and losses, but more so when my guys graduate from our program, 10 years from that date, how successful are they as husbands, fathers, and citizens? That's what we talk about, giving relentless effort in the classroom, on the field, in every endeavor we undertake.
You know, I love to hear that because I've often told our assistant coaches when I was coaching that if the only thing we ever taught these kids was blocking and tackling, we're doing a very poor job of coaching. So it's great to hear you say that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Coach, everybody knows about Gettlefinger from last year. Murphy's now your starting quarterback. Give us some other players we should highlight tonight.
Well, obviously, Gettlefinger's one you got to highlight. He went 12 carries for 95 yards last week. He was a bright spot. I'd like to get number 4, David Wall, involved. He's deceptively,
big tight end, right?
Big tight end, yeah. Deceptively athletic, fires off the ball and blocks like a tackle, but has the nimbleness of a tight end. So I'd like to get him involved early.
Well, and he's a big kid too. You said 6'4", 210.
6'4", 210.
That's a good sized tight end. Does he play defense also?
Yeah, he's our weak side defensive end on defense.
Okay. Any concern? And I know you're probably playing quite a few players both ways. Any concern about fatigue?
It was an issue last week. I've told our guys, you're going to be tired. It's how well do we play when we're tired? How well do we focus when we're tired? So, I mean, week in and week out, fatigue's going to be an issue.
Anytime you come into a new program as a head coach, you have to deal with seniors who've played for another coach for 2 or 3, or even 4 years. How have you dealt with your seniors, and how have they responded to you?
Well, you can't really replace a guy like Gene Sartini or a guy like Larry Dennison, so I haven't come in with the idea that I'm replacing anybody. It's the idea that I'm building on tradition and starting our own traditions. As far as dealing with the seniors, I haven't had to deal with any seniors in the sense that they, from the minute I took the job, were receptive of everything. They took on a leadership role. If I needed to relay a message to the team, I would call the seniors, text the seniors, and they would get it out to them. So really the seniors bought in from day one. It wasn't your typical coaching transition.
Coach, you're right. Coach Sartini is a legend. I tried to hire Coach Dennison when I was at New Albany, so I know what quality person he was. Coach, good luck tonight, and thanks for your time.
Appreciate it.
Let's be honest. You don't see Grandma nearly enough. Which means the dead car battery you've spent the morning dealing with has robbed her of precious grandkid time. It's unfortunate, sure, but it's not like she's going to write you out of her will or anything. Right? When you need to be there, you need an Interstate. The car battery auto techs prefer.
This second shift. This old pair of pants. This staycation. This brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it. To protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer. Nobody wants to be told that they have cancer. When you find out that you have cancer, you want to make sure and try to get it treated as quickly as possible. That's what Priority Radiology did for me. The time they saved me from fretting about it is something I can't repay. They got me my results within 3 hours. It's unheard of to get that kind of results that quick. I can't hardly tell you how important that was for my mental state. It really helped me get through that day.
A proud supporter of the Providence Pioneers and Southern Indiana High School athletics, Mack Construction is a second-generation company that provides quality workmanship in heavy civil construction, asphalt, and streetscape while maintaining focus on worksite safety and productivity. Put Mack Construction's nearly 40 years of award-winning service to work for your project. For more information, visit mackconstruction.com. Mack Construction. Experience. Reputation. Solutions.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
We're with Coach Dave Pappenhaus from the Silver Creek Dragons. And, Coach, now a great start, another 2-0 start for you. You got to be really happy. Good week of practice this week?
Yeah, we're really excited about where we're at 2 weeks in. Dodged some quarantine issues last week and had some key linemen out last week. So, it wasn't beautiful last week, but, kids bounced back well, and we did have a good week of practice. It was nice getting some of the big bodies back this week.
Well, and when you look at the positive of that, Coach, you got some kids with some more game experience, and somewhere down the line that's going to be important for you also, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We really embraced the opportunity. We could have taken it as felt sorry for ourselves and been upset that we had 3 starters out on the offensive line, but I think the coaching staff did a really good job of setting the narrative and saying, look, this is a great time to develop depth, and we're going to have to call on those guys later on, so it's good for them to get game experience early.
And, Coach, it goes back to that old philosophy, next man up, right? You call your number, next man up.
Absolutely.
Coach, any surprises after 2 games?
We thought we would get out to a pretty hot start in the season. We're really thrilled with our offensive line play, especially as many rotating people we've put in there that, we feel like the offensive line play has been really good. And I think everybody's pleasantly surprised with Trey Shane. We knew he was going to be a good one, but, he's really exploded so far.
Well, it's funny you mentioned his name because everybody knows about Landers and Myers and now LaShawn Mays, but not many people talk about Trey Shane until now.
Yeah, absolutely. Trey was a good contributor last year. He had some big catches for us throughout the year and was a stalwart on the defensive side, but we watched him in the weight room all winter and knew that he had special things ahead of him just by the way he worked in the weight room.
And you know what I remember him last year? What I remember him for is just a relentless, hard-hitting defensive player. He'd come up out of that secondary and just knock people's socks off. That always impressed me about him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a hitter.
Coach, I know as a former head coach, I would never allow myself to look ahead. The next opponent is the most important opponent. But I'm going to ask you this and be honest. Do you ever wonder we need to start preparing for the big game against Brownstown?
We don't look ahead, honestly. Providence this week is scary to me because, they didn't have a week 1, and so we got one film against them, and that was against Floyd. And, it's a really good Floyd team, and it became a numbers game, it looked like. I mean, Providence hung in there real well early and played them tough, and it looked like they just got wore down by, a very big and physical Floyd team. So we've had all eyes on Providence all week.
Well, I'd look for a good Silver Creek Floyd Central game. That would be a good one to look forward to. Coach, I know in the first game we were impressed that you kind of opened up the passing attack a little more. Is that something you're working for now all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. We're probably going to throw the ball a little more tonight than we have in the past, and we still got to get the run. I mean, no matter what, to be good in the playoffs, you got to be able to run the football. But you got to help yourself out and get the passing game going, and hopefully there's no hurricanes and no rainstorms. It looks beautiful tonight, so hopefully we can throw it around a little bit tonight.
No lightning, no rain, Nothing's bad is going to happen tonight. Exactly. Coach, good luck tonight, and thanks for your time.
Appreciate it, Coach.
The Clark County Youth Coalition, Clark County's local coordinating council for a drug-free Indiana, presents What's Your Side Effect? Join the movement of thousands of young people working together to build a better world through living healthy, passionate, drug-free lifestyles. Our program includes tips that will help you live the good life and make chasing your dreams a lot easier. Get healthy, get inspired, get the facts at what'syoursideeffect.org.
Funding provided by the State of Indiana, Division of Mental Health and Addiction.
I'm a bunch of wind. And just like your stomach after that strip mall sushi, well, I'm a bit unpredictable. Let's redecorate. What's the matter, Tanya? I thought you loved being spontaneous. I do. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, I might break the bank too. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Call Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today at 812-282-2970. Subject to terms, conditions, and coverage selected.
The second game of the season, I popped my shoulder out of socket. So I went to the doctor a few weeks later, and they referred me to priority radiology to get an arthrogram. It was about a day later that they told me the news that I tore my labrum. Since I got the results back so quick, I got to start doing physical therapy and everything quicker, which made my recovery process a lot quicker, and I'm thankful for priority radiology for getting the results back that fast.
Hi, this is Sheriff Jamie Knoll of the Clark County Sheriff's Office reminding you to please buckle up, wear your seatbelts, and refrain from texting while you're behind the wheel. Your safety is our priority. Enjoy the game.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
And welcome back, Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek with you. Glad to be here. And time now to take a look at, we've heard the coaches speak. Now time for us to figure out, put our hats on, Jim.
All right,
I'll
we'll
let
put our coaching hats on.
And let's look at the keys to the game. Tonight's keys to the game are brought to you by Mack Construction in New Albany. Mack Construction provides safe, productive, quality workmanship in civil construction and excavation. Visit mackconstruction.com. Let's start with those Pioneers from Providence. What do they have to do to get on the winning side tonight?
Well, Providence runs a defense that's a little bit different than what most teams are going to run, and it's something I'm familiar with because it's very similar to what we did when I was coaching at New Albany, and they run what's called a 4-2-5. In other words, they'll have 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 people in the secondary. Well, this will allow them to do a lot of different coverages in the secondary, and if Coach Pappenhouse is actually going to work on his passing game tonight, some of the coverages that Providence is going to give Dylan Myers could confuse him. So we're going to look at their secondary, see what kind of coverages they're going to be in, and see if that is indeed a little bit confusing for Dylan Myers. So that, to me, is a real key to shut down their passing game. The other thing is, Gettelfinger is their big dog. And when you have a big dog, you got to feed that big dog. And they need to give Gettelfinger the ball and really eat up the clock. And eat up the clock and eat up the clock. And what I'm saying, Mike, is they need to slow the game down because they're going to have a lot of players going both ways, and the kids are going to get fatigued. And if they can slow the game down, that plays to their advantage. So that's another key to them. First down, stay on the field, feed that big dog, Gettelfinger, let him get his 150, 200-yard rushing game tonight. Now, the other key is, can the Providence offensive linemen block the big, strong defensive lineman that Silver Creek has? We were very impressed with Silver Creek in that first game against Charlestown, with how big and strong their defensive linemen are. So another key is, can Providence's kids actually handle that?
Well, we'll find out here shortly. Let's take a look at the other side of the field, the Silver Creek Dragons. They are 2-0. What do they have to do to go 3-0 tonight?
Well, they need to play their game, and their game is power running. Although Coach said they're going to throw the ball a little more. Wear Providence down. Just wear them down. Keep punching them and punching them and punching them. Pound the ball. Let Providence get fatigued. their defensive linemen and offensive linemen are bigger and stronger, and they need to just keep, and I use this in a figurative sense, but they need to keep giving Providence's linemen body punches, because after a while you just wear down. Too many body punches, you just wear down. Yeah. So the offensive defensive linemen, I think, are a real key. Use LaShawn Mays. He's their big dog right now. Let him carry that ball and punch. Keep punching Providence with LaShawn Mays. They're going to win the battle in the line. To win the game, they need to win the battle in the line. And I think another big key for them is to continue to develop that passing game. We saw it in the first game. Coach said they're going to throw it a little more tonight. So see if they can develop that passing game.
All right. Well, those are some important keys. We'll find out how it plays out on the field. Your keys of the game, again, brought to you by our friends at Mack Construction. Stand by. We'll take another break with more pregame coverage coming your way, including our starting lineups, which change all the time here in our COVID days. But we'll give you what we got right after this on Glycod.
The Clark County Youth Coalition, Clark County's local coordinating council for a drug-free Indiana, presents What's Your Side Effect? Join the movement of thousands of young people working together to build a better world through living healthy, passionate, drug-free lifestyles. Our program includes tips that will help you live the good life and make chasing your dreams a lot easier. Get healthy, get inspired, get the facts at what'syoursideeffect.org.
Funding provided by the State of Indiana, Division of Mental Health and Addiction.
Dr. Carter's office, Annette speaking. How may I help you?
From your very first call, the warm personal care from Dr. Todd Carter and his friendly staff at Carter Family Dentistry will put you at ease. Dr. Carter can take care of you and your family's dental needs, from gentle cleaning to complex procedures. Visit drtoddcarter.com to learn why generations put their trust in Dr. Carter for their dental health. Or to schedule an appointment, call Annette or Joyce at 812-944-5155. Located at 809 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany.
Hey, who are you?
Oh, hey, Jeff, I'm a car thief.
What?
I'm here to steal your car because, well, that's my job.
What?
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 It happens. And if you got cut rate car insurance, paying for this could feel like getting robbed twice. So get Allstate. I'd be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Call Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today at 812-282-2970. Subject to terms, conditions, and coverage selected.
Dubuque County Fair is about to get its face melted! Yeah!
1 second. I guess their faces are safe.
Shut up, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, shut up.
Shut up, Jeff. I don't need your help.
Just like what happened in Pittsburgh.
Never mention Pittsburgh!
When you need to be there, you need an Interstate, the car battery auto techs prefer.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
And welcome back, Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here at Silver Creek High School. Beautiful night and time to take a quick look at the starting lineups for both squads. Now, we have a caveat here that these things change rapidly. Everything is fluid in this COVID world, and the starting lineups no different. But this was the starting lineups we had yesterday. Jackson Murphy, the quarterback, Cole Kreninger, Jeremy Gettelfinger, the big names for the power offense for the Pioneers. Brian Wall, Isaac Ullman, Roy Shrout, Tyrone Davis, Goodrow, Ross, and Vaughn, the front men. On the defensive side, many of the same names, Davis, Ross, Shrout, and David Wall. A lot of attention on him tonight. Number 4, keep an eye out for him. Jeremy Gettelfinger, Cole Kreninger in the backfield in the offense. They're linebackers on defense. They'll get a lot of playing time tonight. Carson Hellman in, Jackson Murphy, Isaac Ullman, Brian Wall, Joey Theobald, who is a Glycod helper during basketball, injured. He will not start tonight, so we'll find out who took his place. We don't know that. For the Dragons on offense, Dylan Myers, LaShawn Mays, Ben Landers, Jake Lucas, Trey Shane, Miles Roundtree, and up front Cole Knox, Sam Gehring, Riley Gunther, Ben Blues, and Jack Slater gets the call. Timmy Clark out. And tonight on defense, pretty much the same same candidates here. Miles Roundtree, Gunther Blues, Carver Hoffman, number 30, normally starts at linebacker. He's out tonight. Logan Myers, Ben Landers, Rocky Sheen, another linebacker starter, out tonight. Drake Spears, Riley Weber, Trey Shane, and Jake Lucas. Even with a couple of notable misses, they're pretty stout on that defensive side, Jim.
Well, and they'll miss those people, especially at linebacker spot, because that's kind of your defensive signal callers. So I know they probably had practiced all week with the next man up, and that's what Coach Pappenhaus talked about beforehand.
Okay, your starting lineups brought to you tonight by Interstate Batteries. Get started with Interstate Batteries, locally owned at 1510 Production Road in Jeff, and a proud supporter of high school sports on Glycod. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Stand by, kickoff coming your way next on Glycod.
The only name you need to know for all your auto repair needs is Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Sure, our name might be hard to say, but we can fix everything no one else wants to fix. Big or small, we can do it all. Foreign or domestic, if it needs repair, Voinier's can handle the job. The only thing high-tech about us is what we do, and we're upfront with you and we'll do the job right. One thing we have to sell is our time, and we won't waste yours. Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Family-owned since 1981. Call us for all of your auto repair needs.
I'm a bunch of wind. And just like your stomach after that strip mall sushi, well, I'm a bit unpredictable. Let's redecorate. What's the matter, Tanya? I thought you loved being spontaneous. I do. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, I might break the bank too. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Call Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today at 812-282-2970. Subject to terms, conditions, and coverage selected.
Let's be honest. You don't see Grandma nearly enough. Which means the dead car battery you've spent the morning dealing with has robbed her of precious grandkid time. It's unfortunate, sure. But it's not like she's going to write you out of her will or anything. Right? When you need to be there, you need an Interstate. The car battery auto techs prefer.
From Glycod, it's Interstate Batteries Southern Indiana High School Football. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable since 1950. Tonight's game is presented by Jim Butner Auto Group in Clarksville, striving to keep you driving. By the Clark County Youth Coalition, get inspired, get the facts. Visit what'syoursideeffect.org. By Allstate agent Packy Page, he puts you in good hands. By Priority Radiology in New Albany, you have a choice. By Clark County Sheriff Jamie Knoll, and by Centra Credit Union. Now to the field for all the action from Glycod on Interstate Batteries Southern Indiana High School Football. Presented by Jim Butner Auto Group.
Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here. You're catching it just in time to see the coin flip. It was in the air. Heads or tails? Providence won the toss. They will defer. That means they'll get the kickoff to receive the second half. That means they'll kick off to start. Silver Creek will start on the south side of the field, head to the north. And that's where we'll get rolling. Providence, of course, in the white jerseys with their navy pants. Silver Creek kind of in a gray with their orange accents and bright orange helmets this season.
Love their helmets. I voted their helmets so far the best we've seen.
You like color.
I do. I like that splash. I like that shininess. That looks good.
Well, you're our color guy.
I don't like the gray. I'm not a big fan of the gray.
Me neither.
But
all right. Well, we got everything ready to go here. Kickoff just seconds away.
Lucas and Trey Shane are deep for Silver Creek.
And Strebe to kick off tonight for the Pioneers. Nathan Strebe, senior, 6'2", 150 pounds. Soaking wet, I gather. He looks pretty thin out there, but kickers sometimes aren't the beefiest players on the field, Joe.
Don't have to be. Okay, are we thinking onside kick?
Well, we'll see.
Last week.
We've seen quite a few of those this year. Strebe lines up. Pretty tight formation on the far side. Nope, kicks it away. Kick is up. Head toward the sidelines, and it's going to bounce out of bounds, which will be a penalty. And a first down for Silver Creek out, I believe, with the 35-yard line. Is that where they put it down?
35, and that's their intent was to not kick the ball to Trey Shane, which is a smart move. But the kicker needs to do a better job of keeping it on the field of play. That's a pretty severe penalty when you get moved the ball all the way to the 35-yard line.
1st and 10 Silver Creek ball. We'll see the vaunted Silver Creek offense tonight. They put up 42 the first week against Charlestown.
27 last week.
Yeah, so a little bit more muted performance, but they missed 3 starting linemen, so that may have something to do with it. 1st and 10, Dylan Meyer. Single setback is LaShawn Mays, and here we go. Week number 3. There's a snap. A little pass out. That's going to be a lateral, so he better get on it. And in a hurry, he does, but he should have fallen on it at that point. Mays, a sophomore. A lot of talent in that young man, but that time wasn't thinking quick enough. What happened there? Just a little miscommunication?
Miscommunication, and I'm not sure LaShawn actually knew he was going to get the ball.
It did look a little surprised.
Yeah.
Lost a 14 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 24. Talk about digging yourself a hole. Pioneers get a little bit of a break on that play. The only thing they didn't get was the ball.
And we probably Riley Gunther is the center for Silver Creek, and he's an ex-Providence player, if I remember correctly.
He did. He started last year for the Pioneers. Myers in the pistol. Mays behind him. Hand off to Ben Landers. Exploring the left side, and not much to find there. Great coverage by the Providence defense. Minimal gain, picked up maybe 2, 3 or 4.
Yeah, remember, this is a different defense than Silver Creek has seen for a while. 4-man line, 2 linebackers. That the 5 secondary people gives them a lot of flexibility in their secondary.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. In that time, the first play they were in cover 3. This time they were in what we would call a cover 2, and this time they're going back to cover 3.
3rd and 20 after a pickup about 4 on that one. Mays, the single setback, pistol, and Myers rolls out to his right. Definitely a passing situation. Has a receiver open. Ben Landers there, and Landers gets it all the way out across midfield and into Pioneer territory. Great pass that time.
And a really well-designed play. It would be neat to be able to replay that because the receiver on our side did a little stop pattern which drew the cornerback up to him, and then Landers came all the way across the field to the vacated area where that corner should have been, covering in his deep section rather than the short comeback pass.
1st and 10 ball on the 45-yard line. Landers looking for a hole, tries the middle, and is met with force there by Jeremy Gettelfinger and others, including David Wall, who we'll probably hear from quite a bit tonight.
We get a lot of attention to that young man. 6'4", 215-pound tight end, defensive end.
Senior for Providence.
He's playing right defensive end.
They said he's on the weak side. I'm pretty sure that he could be on whatever side he wants.
Yeah, that's right.
Pick up a 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And then you call it the quick side, not the weak side.
Yeah, it's anything but the weak side.
Yeah.
Myers still in the pistol in the slot. Trey Shane goes in motion, takes the handoff, going to follow a block by Ben Landers, and he's got some sideline. Nice stutter step and knocked out of bounds. Finally thrown out of bounds by Brian Wall.
So they're going to mark him back about the 20, possibly, right around about the 20.
Big gain that time by Trey Shane. Little nice blocking out in front by Ben Landers, and just good team play. Ball inside the 20 down into the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Silver Creek.
And Silver Creek is very adept to running what we call the jet sweep with that man in motion getting the ball.
A little tighter formation this time. Hand off to Landers, works his way through, and finally thrown down by David Wall and others. But a great run and another first down. It's going to be 1st and goal for Silver Creek.
Yeah, it's inside the 5. Looks like a 2, Mike.
I believe you're correct.
They're in their power formation and a simple toss play to the tailback. And Ben Landers, very shifty runner, hard runner, shifty runner.
First and goal, Silver Creek. This first drive, quite impressive. Can they cap it off with a touchdown? Snap, handoff to Mays. Dives ahead.
Yep. And
he's in. Just like that, Silver Creek marches down the field after the first play was kind of a muff. They got it in gear.
But the big play, of course, was the rollout pass from Myers to Trey Shane, and from being on 3rd and 24 to a 30-yard gain.
In for the extra point is Jonathan McIntyre. Waits for the snap. Landers the hold. Kick is up. And the signal is good.
Have we decided not to try to outguess those referees on the goalpost?
I'm just waiting.
Okay.
I'm just waiting.
All right.
I have guessed. My success rate on guessing is about 50%, so I gave that up a long time ago.
Well, Cole Knox and Gunther Riley.
Riley Gunther.
Riley Gunther,
yep.
Excuse me. Yeah, it could be Gunther Riley.
It could be.
Riley Gunther their offensive line looks really good. Dane Longwood, those are some big, beefy guys in there, and that offensive line looked awful good today.
Sure did. Silver Creek will kick it away after taking the ball down the field, especially after that first play. Positive yardage there on out.
Mm-hmm.
And in chunks. McIntyre will put it in the air. And again, what do you think? Any trickeration at this point in the game, or just boot it away and see what they got?
Yeah, I think Coach Pappenhouse has a great deal of confidence in his defense. He's going to kick it deep.
Carson Heldman, number 3, and Jeremy Gettelfinger, 31, deep for the Pioneers. They await the kickoff. Referee out there staring down the kicker. I'm not sure what the weight is. There have been some new rules this year, and sometimes the referees are just doing their own thing. Right. Apparently, it's a mystery.
I don't know what the weight is. Unsure.
Yeah, he's waiting on a call.
Where is the referee, actually? The referee is the white hat, and he's usually down behind the receiving team. Oh, there he is. I see him. He's way down in the corner. They're taking a break.
Yeah,
there they go.
All right, here we go. McIntyre set to kick. Ball on the 40-yard line. Let's see how far he can put it in the air. Not a bad kick. Taking about the 20-yard line. Heldman splits a tackle and dragged down about the 35-yard line. Not a bad return. 15 yards on the return. 1st and 10 Pioneers. We'll get to see their offense led by quarterback Jackson Murphy, number 7. Cole Krininger, Jeremy Gettelfinger, some names we'll probably be calling as well in the backfield. Again, everything's fluid this year, so normal lineups don't stay normal for very long.
You can get a lineup from a coach on Monday, and by Friday, 3 of his starters are sidelined for COVID.
What do you say, Monday? I'm thinking Thursday.
Yeah.
1st and 10, man in motion is Heldman. He gets the handoff. He's got the corner. He's got some speed and tripped up. Great tackle by Jake Lucas. But not before they get a first down. Great ceiling on
that. And that's the Providence version of the jet sweep.
The Pioneer sweep, we'll call it.
Yeah, Pioneer sweep.
1st and 10, ball across midfield, 48-yard line. Nice pickup that time by Heldman.
Good start. Single quarterback, no backs, motion.
Coming the other way. This time it's Gettelfinger. Turns it up, breaks a tackle, breaks 2, finally loses his footing. And a late hit looks like what we're going to get. Flag comes in late. Gettelfinger picked up about 7, maybe 8 on that carry, but they're going to tax a few more on there.
They're going to get 15 on that. I think, if the watching Silver Creek last year, they call that a
blow to the head.
Blow to the head. Silver Creek last year and this year, they on defense especially, they play with a little bit of chip on the shoulder, don't they? Have you noticed that?
Little chippy.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say they're chippy.
Well,
but I think they play with some swagger and a little bit of chip on the shoulder.
Yeah. Well, something to prove, I believe.
Yeah.
Still a young program here at Silver Creek, just in their 10th season, so you realize that they've got some reputation to build yet. Man in motion is Heldman, gets the handoff. It's a foot race to the corner. This time, not the results that he got the first time.
So what Providence is doing, Mike, is they're running a bunch formation, either to the right or to the left. They'll have four wide receivers, 2 backs, 2 wide receivers, bunched out here to one side or the other, and then a single back on the other side of the quarterback, and they just hand him the ball, and all those receivers on the bunch receivers all block back inside and just kind of clean that up for the receiver. Silver Creek has got to be careful that they don't start bringing secondary people up and allow them to fake that play and run a pass deep.
Picked up 3, 2nd down and 7.
There it is again. There's the bunch.
Motion, fakes the motion. Murphy going to keep it himself and looks for a seam. Not much there. It closed quickly. Ben Landers and others on the tackle. Picked up a couple maybe. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Tackle on the play by number 2, Ben Landers.
Ben Landers, man, he is a jack of all trades for the Dragons.
He is a good player. Very nice high school player. Some schools ought to be looking at him for continuing playing in college.
He's one of those kids that just always knows where the ball is and finds his way there.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 6, big 3rd down play for Providence, although I suspect they're in 4-down territory here.
I believe you're right. There's their bunch formation again off here to the left. Here they're going to block back.
Jackson Murphy keeps it. He's being chased by Ben Landers, who catches him from behind. And a loss on the play. Great pursuit that time by the Silver Creek defense. I believe they epitomize the bend and not break defense, don't they?
And now if I'm Providence's spotter upstairs, I'm going to look and just say, they're really flowing to that bunch formation. Now's the time to run that reverse if we have a reverse or a counter, because I think you're going to catch them a little flat-footed.
Loss of 3. It's going to be 4th and a long 9. Murphy goes to the sideline, gets the play brought in. Still 13 on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry up. They want to get this play off, down to 7. Sometimes they don't notice that 4 seconds, 3, 2, and he's not going to make it. Nope, they don't call it. Murphy gets the pass off to Gettelfinger, but the defender fighting through the play, fighting through the block. Great work by Cole Davidson. Just would not be denied.
No, he wouldn't.
So the pass from Gettelfinger not nearly enough for the first down. Turnover on downs and a great stop on the defense of Silver Creek.
But a good call by Providence. 4th and 10. What do you expect? There's got to be a pass, a little screen pass. My philosophy always was if they expect you to pass, run. If they expect you to run, pass. And if you have to pass, run a screen or a draw.
Well, that's the one pass that can act a lot like a run.
Mm-hmm.
1st and 10, Silver Creek. 2nd touch of the night here. Under 5.5 to go. First quarter. Trey Shane takes the handoff and accelerates. One man to beat is the quarterback, and he doesn't make it. Great gain, a touchdown-saving tackle by Jackson Murphy.
Yep.
Trey Shane. Wow.
Yeah, if he doesn't make that tackle, it's gone. The safety, Providence's safety was really cheating up and filling a gap in the defensive line, and he actually just ran right past Trey Shane.
Murphy, he's getting into the game on both sides of the ball. It's rare you see the quarterback go both ways these days, but numbers demand that, especially during the COVID season. Quick pitch, Ben Landers, and this time nothing doing. Nice defensive play. And I believe that's David Wall.
Yeah, we're going to mention his name quite a bit, I think, especially on defense.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10 Dragons. But, again, David Wall finds his way to the ball. He's almost like Ben Landers but bigger for the Pioneers.
Reminds me a little bit of the kid from Oldham County we watched last year. Lucas was his name, I think.
I believe you're correct. 2nd and 10. Myers fakes the handoff. He's in trouble.
Fumble.
That's a fumble, and Providence got the ball. Was he in the act of passing is what they'll say.
Nope.
But looks like it was a fumble.
And good defensive call by Providence. They brought a corner off, an outside linebacker from the weak side, and Silver Creek didn't pick it up. Meyer never saw him coming.
Isaac Ullman was the backer that got to him. Number 18 for the Pioneers. Got him from behind, knocked the ball loose, and turnover. Turnovers will hurt you.
And there you go, Jackson Murphy's tackle on that Trey Shane breakaway. Look what it just saved him.
That sure did. Not only did it stop the touchdown, now they have the ball back.
Right.
1st and 10, ball at the 38-yard line. Pioneers. Murphy in the pistol. Single setback is Kreninger. Man in motion, Heldman. Murphy going to drop back, put it in the air, and underthrown and intercepted. Take the other way. Up the sidelines he goes.
That was intended for Wall.
Bryson Gadlin, senior defensive back, 5'8", 170 pounds, but the ball underthrown, and he was able to get out there and corral it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was underthrown, and Wall did a good job of trying to come back and playing defense on the ball, but Gadlin really made a great play.
1st and 10, ball back in the hands of the Dragons, as if that fumble never even happened, Coach.
Like we're right back where we started from again.
Trading turnovers, back-to-back plays. 1st and 10, Dragon ball, 41-yard line. Boy, they split out. They split out wide, don't they? And that man coming in motion, Trey Shane, and a timeout called by Providence. They want to take a break. Well, I don't blame them. We'll take one as well. Stand by. We'll be right back after this quick one here on Glycod.
Hi, this is Sheriff Jamie Knoll of the Clark County Sheriff's Office reminding you to please buckle up, wear your seatbelts, and refrain from texting while you're behind the wheel. Your safety is our priority. Enjoy the game.
This portion of tonight's game on Glycod is brought to you by W.M. Kelly in New Albany. Find out about a rewarding career by emailing info@wmkelly.com.
And welcome back here. Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek at Silver Creek High School, the home of the Dragons, as Providence Pioneers come in tonight. Their second week 3 for everybody else in Indiana. And so far, you know, there's been some issues here and there, a player or 2 or 3, dealing with the COVID protocol, but football seems to be going okay so far in Indiana.
And isn't that great that this is something, when they talk about the new normal, Mike, to me this is the old normal. This is great. You know, these kids getting a chance to play football. The fans, if this was a regular time, if this was not the new normal, the old normal, this place would be jam-packed.
Packed. Yeah.
And if they still, I bet they sold 750 tickets. I guarantee they sold every one of them.
They sure did. And there are people lined up all the way around the field, social distancing, and some not quite as much. But hey.
Yeah, well, it's okay. They've got their lawn chairs out, and they're watching a good high school football game.
Was a time like out like that help the offense at all, even though the defense called it? Gives them a chance to work on the play they're going to run. 1st and 10, by the way.
Yeah, I'd never like to call timeout.
And we got a flag.
Yeah, we got procedure against Silver Creek.
So that timeout didn't help them.
No, I took them off. Took away their momentum, I think. I never like to call timeout for my opponent. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. It's good to call timeout to stop a drive, to cool down the drive, but you really don't want to use your timeout to help your opposition.
Loss of 5 on the play makes it 1st and 15. It looked like it was another jet sweep. Destination Trey Shane. Now we got quarterback under center with 3 backs. Different look here. Run the option, and Dylan Meyer going to get the 5 back, but that's about it. It'll be 2nd down and 10. That was more like a traditional option play.
Well, it actually looks like, if they're faking what we used to call a zero dive, where the fullback just goes right straight at the center, and then the quarterback just kind of pulls it and goes through the 2-hole, which is between the guard and center. It's a little kind of a different looking play, and they're in the same thing. They're in their power formation again.
LaShawn Mays in the I formation behind him. Pitch is to Ben Landers, and runs it out to the midfield. Picked up 9. He's going to be 1 yard short of a 1st down. 3rd and 1. One thing about Silver Creek so far, as we've seen them, 2 gains, they're able to pick up
first downs.
A lot of first downs.
Yeah. Be a good time to throw a pass right now. If you're working your passing game, 3rd and 1's a good time to throw a nice long pass.
In the tight formation, once again, Myers takes the snap under center. Don't see that as much as we used to. And hand off to LaShawn Mays. He's going to get the first down. Not much more, but they only needed 1. He got 2.
And, Providence was really lucky there because they were bringing both their linebackers. Had LaShawn Mays crack that first level, he was gone.
Yeah, there was nobody
and he almost
behind
did crack it.
1st and 10, ball at the 47-yard line. And we got lots of movement. Now it looks like we're going to draw the defense off this time.
Nope, offense.
Nope. They say the offense moved. Another 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Silver Creek working extra hard here on this drive.
Looked like
I didn't catch who did the motion.
I couldn't tell, but one of Silver Creek's players was giving it the my bad sign. So
well, I always believe them when they say that.
Yeah, you're not going to admit the my bad unless you really were the bad.
Myers under center, I formation in the backfield. Fakes the second man through.
Nice
Trey
play.
Shane.
Nice
little
play.
Counter.
Yes.
And it's speed against speed. Jackson Murphy, the only one to get to him, and he did. Also a little help from Jeremy Gettelfinger, I think, helped trip him up.
He did, yeah.
Shane picked up half the field practically.
Mike, that was a heck of a play. They faked the isolation to the tailback and then gave it to Shane on the counter play, and it was wide open.
Yeah, he just blew through that hole.
Yeah, Providence overplayed the isolation play inside and left the outside wide open.
Ball on the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's a pitch to Ben Landers. He gets around the first wave, and he rocks it into the end zone for a touchdown.
And I couldn't see it because it was right
into the sun.
The sun is setting right exactly where he scored.
14-yard scamper by Ben Landers. And make sure our camera guy keeps the camera out of the sun. You just have to bring it down if you have to. Yeah, thank you. Because that sun will fry the iris of the camera. McIntyre in for the extra point. Snap and the hold are good. Kick.
We don't know yet.
Is there. 14-0 here in the early going. 2 minutes and some change on the clock, and a 2-touchdown lead for Silver Creek here in the first quarter. And the student section down the other end, they're anti-social distancing.
They are. They're
sure what you call that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm glad to see them out there, and they're enjoying the game. And I don't know what I would say but I'm glad they're out.
Well, I'm not calling the health department.
I'm not either.
If they don't see it, it never happened, right? Well, so far we've had a couple of drives by Silver Creek. Providence has touched the ball a couple of times as well. Pioneers able to move on the Silver Creek defense that first drive, but couldn't quite get the payoff.
And I give the coach credit. He went for the pay dirt on that long pass, just a little bit underthrown. And in Jackson Murphy's defense, he was under quite a bit of pressure. I don't know if you saw that or not, but just as he released the ball, he got hit pretty hard.
Ben Landers goes in from 14 yards out. Silver Creek up by 14 now. 2 minutes, 19 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and Silver Creek showing why they may not be the best team in Southern Indiana, but they want to be considered in that class.
Right.
You consider, again, how young this program is. A decade, 12 years ago, there was no Silver Creek football.
And 10 years ago, they were 0-1.
0-1 for the season.
Yeah, for the season, yeah.
McIntyre set to get it started here. Kick is up. High spiral kick taken by Jackson Murphy. Puts it down, goes to the left sideline. Hit. And Jake Lucas brings him down after a modest gain. It'll be first down and 10 Pioneer ball.
Returns it to about the 24.
They'll put it down on the 24-yard line, so that'll make it first and 10 at that spot. See what the Pioneers can dial up this time.
You know, it's interesting. They have LaShawn Mays on the kickoff coverage team. It's interesting.
It's an interesting call.
Yeah, well,
I think it's because he hits people.
Well, and I mean, why not? But it's just interesting that he'd be out there.
My goal my senior year was to be on all teams.
Well, and I can tell you how old I am.
Oh, my.
Oh, gee.
That one didn't go anywhere at all. Hand off to Tyler Brogdon, and he was corralled and quick.
And when I played in high school, and I'm going to tell you, it was 1966. All right? That was the first year that you could actually substitute players in the game. And you didn't have to report to the referee when you came in. In the other days, you actually reported to the referee that you were coming in the game because you couldn't come in and out multiple times.
Brogdon in motion, this time a pass, and the pass in and out of the hands of Isaac Ullman.
Yep.
It'll bring up 3rd and 15 after that 5-yard loss on the previous carry.
So I played offense, defense, punt team, kickoff team.
You played everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Was the ball still oblong then?
It was.
Okay,
Yeah, it
just
was.
checking.
It had air in it.
I'm just teasing
you. I know, that's okay. I'm old. I admit it. I can go back to when we had high top shoes with big spike
those
cleats
were the
on
days. Little spread here. Murphy in the passing situation, but he pulls it to run, and great coverage by the Silver Creek defense. They sniffed that one out. Murphy had nowhere to go.
Well, they've kind of figured out that bunch formation with the sweep where everybody was kind of blocking down. Now, the only thing Silver Creek needs to be aware of is the fact that when they get in that bunch formation, they can run a reverse and they can run a pass play off of that. So their secondary has to play it straight, and the backside people can't be running over there like they're wild and lose contained.
4th and 8, ball back on the 18-yard line. Luke Kruer, the punter, in. Cole Krittinger, the safety man there. And a whistle stops the action. Timeout taken by Providence. Their second timeout.
Yeah.
I take one. We'll take one, too. Stand by. We'll be right back with more. You're watching watching football on Glycod. Stand by.
You're born with the brain power to make smart choices and the opposable thumbs to click on them. You shop carefully for a lot of things. But what about your bank? Better borrowing rates? Yes, please. Lower fees? Duh. More money for you, less for the bank. Access to a cooperative network of convenient locations and a place where they go the extra mile for you. It's your money. Start right here. Centra Credit Union. Centra.org.
Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
Welcome back. Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here. After that timeout, Providence set to punt. 4th down, 4th and 18. Ball on the 18, and Luke Kruer back about 10 yards.
Yeah, we got Jake Lucas and Trey Shane deep for Silver Creek.
That's a double whammy.
It is. Both those are tough.
David Wall appears to be the long snapper here. He's a jack of all trades for the Pioneers. That's a pretty valuable position. Most people don't realize how important long snappers are.
I'm glad you said that, Mike.
Says a former long snapper?
Yes, that's right.
That's what I thought. Here we go. Everything's set. Kruer waits for the snap. And there it is. Good snap.
Good snap. Yes, sir.
Kick gets it away. It's going to be a short kick. Takes a bounce. And Silver Creek player almost pushed into it. Got to be careful. If you touch that ball, it's now free.
And I'm going to tell you, the kid that made a play was, I think, is it Caden? I can't see his number right now.
I didn't see who you're talking
Bryson
about.
Gatlin.
Okay.
Bryson Gatlin made a great play there because that punt was short, and he was going back to block, and he got the signal from the deep back, and he actually stopped instead of going the other direction because if he kept running, that ball would have hit him.
Yeah. 1st and 10, short field for the Dragons on their own 40-yard line. And another timeout taken by Providence.
Yeah,
their 3rd timeout here, and they only have 4 in the half. We'll stay with it here because we've already burned our timeouts.
Yeah, I don't know what he saw that he needed to call timeout on that. I mean, he saw something in the defense that he didn't like, but I don't know what it was. They looked like they they had 11 players out there, and everybody was covered. The wide receiver was covered.
Yeah, sometimes that panic when you realize there are 10 on the field, you'll immediately call a time.
Yeah.
You ever had that feeling, Coach?
Yeah. Unfortunately, more times than I'd like to think.
1st and 10, ball on the 40-yard line. Short field, only 44 seconds in the quarter, but they're not so much worried about that. They'd like to drive down and get another score and get up by 3. That would be the goal here if you're a Dragon fan. Pioneers looking to get a stop. Providence showing some sparks tonight. They've got some talent.
They do have some talent, and it's just unfortunate that they don't have enough of the talent. Gettlefingers is as good as any player we're going to see this year.
David Walls.
David Wall is a good-looking player. Murphy, although this is his first year playing quarterback, I mean, he looks like he can handle himself back there. A couple good-sized defensive, offensive, well, actually linemen, because they play both ways.
Yeah. I think Coach McDonald stepped into a situation where he's going to have a chance to build something back up.
Right.
And it just last couple of years, Providence struggled, and not really sure why, but it's the case. Myers back in the pistol. Mays takes the handoff, knocks on the right side door, and slips, loses his footing.
Yeah, he did. He slipped.
Jackson Murphy will get credit for a tackle because he was the one on top of him, but I think Mays could run over him if he wanted to. Nice 7-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 3.
That should bring the quarter to an end.
Probably so, unless Silver Creek just wants to keep the rhythm. And they come up to run a play. Play clock down to 21.
Yep.
Scoreboard lower than that. And they're going to run it. Shane in motion. Fakes it. Rolls out. And a little shuttle pass there. Shovel pass.
Yeah, that was a I'm going to tell you, Mike, he's running to his left, and he can't get his shoulders turned around because he's under a great deal of pressure, and he has presence of mind to just, instead of trying to get his shoulders turned and get sacked, he just punched the ball. He just pushed it. He just pushed it out to his receiver, and I can tell you the only other time I've seen that.
Yeah?
Chris Miles did it.
Oh, Lord. No.
He was playing quarterback, was running the bootleg, and he was going to his left under pressure, and he couldn't get his shoulders turned to throw the ball, and he just pushed it out there like a shovel pass for a touchdown.
Well, that's the end of the quarter with Silver Creek ahead 14-0. Take a break. Be back right after this.
Dubuque County Fair is about to get its face melted! Yeah!
1 second. I guess their faces are safe.
Shut up, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, shut up.
Shut up, Jeff. I don't need your help.
Just like what happened in Pittsburgh.
Never mention Pittsburgh!
When you need to be there, you need an Interstate, the car battery auto techs prefer.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
The Clark County Youth Coalition, Clark County's local coordinating council for a drug-free Indiana, presents What's Your Side Effect? Join the movement of thousands of young people working together to build a better world through living healthy, passionate, drug-free lifestyles. Our program includes tips that will help you live the good life and make chasing your dreams a lot easier. Get healthy, get inspired, get the facts at what'syoursideeffect.org.
Funding provided by the State of Indiana, Division of Mental Health and Addiction.
Welcome back, Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here. Time to check in with a scoreboard update tonight brought to you by the Clark County Youth Coalition. For more than 35 years, the Clark County Youth Coalition has been the state's eyes and ears in Clark County, monitoring data and working to reduce substance use and abuse. For more information, visit clarkcountylcc.org. Charlestown trails Clarksville 13-0. The first, Cincinnati Elder leads Floyd Central 7-0. Watch the play unfold here.
Good tackle by Murphy. That was a little counter play that they scored on a little bit ago.
Picked up 3 on that one. It's going to be 2nd and 7. And also at the end of 1, New Albany leads Jeffersonville 6-0. So that is your scoreboard update brought to you by the Clark County Youth Coalition.
You know, Mike, that's a shame. That game used to be such a big game. And it's just kind of lost its luster. Meyer
under center. Quick pitch to Ben Landers. Picks his spot. Gets across the 20, short of the first down, but not by much. It'll be 3rd and short. Yeah, the New Albany-Jeff game, historically in the state, was one of the biggest games in Indiana. And it's
just kind of just become, just another game.
Well, neither school has demonstrated great prowess in recent years, and nobody's been dominant. 3rd and a long one. LaShawn Mays takes the handoff. He's got the first down and a couple more for good measure.
And it was their read option play, and Mays drug the quarterback into the hole with him.
I feel your pain, LaShawn. Yeah. As a fullback, there were many times I wanted that ball desperately.
I was going to talk about the little toss play that they ran with Ben Landers a little bit ago. Their offensive linemen do such a great job of staying on their blocks that Landers just kind of hangs back and then finds an opening and accelerates.
Landers floating around back there. Handoff straight ahead. LaShawn Mays hit by Gettelfinger. Hit by a few others. Brian Wall, and stopped.
Yeah.
He'll pick up 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
LaShawn was a little bit tall going through there that time. He really didn't give the people shoulder pads and knees to tackle. He's standing up a little tall. They're giving him this whole body to tackle.
He needs to take a look at that fullback for New Albany, Keandre Winford.
But didn't he play good last week?
Yeah, player of the game last week at Eastern Hancock for the Bulldogs. 2nd and 7. Myers handoff this time. Ben Landers quickly through the hole. Brought down hard by Jackson Murphy, but a first down is had. Ball inside the 5 to the 4. 1st and goal, Silver Creek. Man, Landers was fast through that.
He was. He accelerated quickly, and LaShawn Mays made a nice block.
Mays going to be a great ball player for these Dragons. Second man through is Landers, and he just goes in for the TD.
Yep. And again, that left side of the Silver Creek line does a great job of blocking, and Mays kind of sealed everything off. And, you got those guys to run behind, Mike. It makes it a little bit easier for Ben Landers.
20-0 here in the start of the second quarter. Well, a couple of minutes into the second. McIntyre going to try to add a point to it, but Silver Creek really showing that they've, I think, making a statement here tonight.
They forgot to hold her.
Bryson Gatlin comes out. Ben Landers, normally the holder, but he scored the touchdown. I guess he gets a break. Gatlin gets the hold down, and it gets through there. It looked like he hooked it.
He did, yeah. Well, it was a good kick. I'm telling you,
McIntyre's come a long way.
Most valuable kicker.
He has improved quite a bit over last year.
He sure has. He was just a skinny drink of water when we saw him last year against Charlestown, and he has really developed into a fine kicker.
Skinny drink of water.
Yep.
I haven't heard that phrase in so long, I can't even tell you.
Remember, I'm old, Mike. I'm old.
Well, it's a great phrase. I enjoy it. 10 minutes. Oh.
Got a few more minutes before the sun gets behind that big tree there, and it's
holding my hand up here just to block the sun so I can see the field. Beautiful night here.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is. Perfect.
It's about time we had one of these on a Friday night. A couple years ago, we had a rain fest every week.
Oh, Lord.
I think it was 13 out of 14 weeks it rained. Oh, my goodness, on a Friday.
Yep.
And not just a drizzle.
No, big rains.
Big rains.
And every field we went to was just a sloppy mess that year, too.
Yeah, even the turf ones.
Yeah. So I'm looking here, and Silver Creek has got a huge cheerleading staff. They've got to have 20 or more cheerleaders.
Yep.
But they do jumping jacks for every point that Silver Creek puts on the board. So these girls are getting quite a workout.
Well, they sure are. 21-0 your score, second quarter, 2 minutes into it. McIntyre set to kick off after the touchdown. The refereeing crew now ready to go. Deep for the Pioneers, Jackson Murphy and Jeremy Gettelfinger. McIntyre kicks it in the vicinity of Murphy, and he went down. His knee went down, but
what?
It's not really going to matter because he ran.
Well, they said actually what happened.
He picked up a loose ball.
Yeah, he fumbled. He was running. He fell down and he fumbled. So because he didn't have possession of the ball, the referee didn't blow the whistle. So it actually was a very good call by the referee.
He took the ball at the 14-yard line and ran across the field and gained 1 yard.
Yes.
Tackled by Jake Lucas. And that's where they'll start at the 15, 1st and 10. Pioneers. See what Coach McDonald draws up here for this drive. Pioneers shut out in their first game. They gave a yeoman's effort against the Floyd Central Highlanders, but what a tough open for them.
Yeah, it's uh-oh. Delay game. Yeah, Providence had to get Wall on the field, and he was late coming onto the field and late getting into his position, so it cost him 5 on the delay game penalty.
Yeah, that hurts. 1st and 15, ball back at the 10-yard line now. You can ill afford penalties anytime, but when you're down 3 touchdowns on the road, it's just even more painful.
Yeah, and you're backed up to the 10-yard line. It doesn't make it easier to start calling plays from back there either.
Yeah, you have a special set of plays that deep in your own sideline.
No, you really don't. I mean, you run your plays. Whatever your game plan is. Oh, nice tackle.
Stood him up.
Joe Lemon stood up Jeremy Gettelfinger, and Jeremy Gettelfinger's not the kind of player that gets stood up very often.
No, he isn't. Picked up 4. It's going to be 2nd and 11. Ball back out to the 14-yard line. Gettelfinger, a good running back.
Oh, he is. So most coaches, I had a play sheet, and it was, plays to run in certain situations, down and distance situations, field position situations, plays you'd practiced, plays you thought were going to work, goal line plays. I mean, you just have that. You have it handy, so you really don't have a thinking process. You just look down at what your play sheet is.
Gettelfinger goes the other way. Breaks the first tackle. Finally corralled and brought down. This time Riley Gunther.
And yes. I'm going to say his name correctly that time.
Gets the stop.
One of the things I did, and a lot of coaches are doing it now, but this was back in the 80s. I used to script the first 10 plays or first 12 plays or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. That these are things that I thought were going to work, different formations. I wanted to see what the other team was going to be doing against formations. So we would run that script, and on Thursday we would go through that script with the players, and these were the plays we were going to run. And I'll stop for a minute. I'll tell you the rest of that later.
Jackson Murphy drops back, going to put it in the air, has a receiver in through the hands of Gettelfinger. Good coverage that time.
Very good coverage.
Cole Davidson in the starting lineup because of some of the changes to the lineups. Davidson made a couple of good plays tonight, including that one.
5'10", 160-pound junior. Good job. So one of the things I would do during that scripting, I would go to the offensive lineman, and I would go to the offensive lineman and say, what is the first play you want to run? What play did the offensive lineman want? Of course, I always say run it over me. Running play over me.
It's 4th and 8. Ball is on the 17-yard line. Luke Kruger into punt. High snap. Pulls it down. Gets it away. Not a bad-looking
nice kick. No, real nice.
Jake Lucas gets it at the 47. Brings it to the left.
Got a little room. We got a flag. Block in the back. Looks like it.
And
maybe Bryson Gatlin, number 2. Ben Landers. One of those two had a block in the back.
And
holding.
They're going to bring it back, but Silver Creek ball. And the field that was perfect week 1 after the torrential rains the last couple of days, not today, but Wednesday, Thursday, has softened it up a bit.
It is.
A few more divots on the field if you're a golfer.
So what I found when I did that, Mike, and the players, that was their play. That was the one they wanted to run. That was the one they called. And, they would block it a little extra hard to make sure that it worked. And I never asked the quarterback that because I always knew he was going to throw it long. Coach, let me throw the bomb.
1st and 10, ball at the 49-yard line. Back in the pistol is Myers. Mays in the backfield. Landers dances around on the right side. Meyer sees something he likes, brings it back, being chased out of bounds by the other quarterback. Murphy stops Myers, but not until he gets a huge gain inside the 25-yard line.
It's about a 20-yard gain. That started out to be a nice rollout passing play. But because Providence's players are so they're pursuing so fiercely that when he cut back, there was nothing there to stop him.
He had a lot of green in front of him.
And what we would say is somebody lost containment. The defensive end probably on this side lost his containment.
1st and 10, pistol formation. Myers, Landers slides over. Handoff this time. LaShawn Mays follows a blocker, gets to the corner, and gets taken out of bounds. Going to be close to a first down where they spot it, and he's going to have enough. They give him 10.
Miles Roundtree playing left tight end made a nice block. Actually, it was the block that he sealed that and opened up that whole side.
1st and 10, ball inside the 15 to the 14. Just about 8.5 to go in the first half. Silver Creek in control. Quarterback under center. Ben Landers looking for some room. Jackson Murphy trips him up, saves a touchdown on that play. Murphy getting his name called a lot, both sides of the ball tonight.
He is, and
that's tough.
It is tough for your quarterback to be taking those licks, both on offense and defense.
Gets 9. It'll be 2nd and 1. Ball just short of the 5-yard line. Give it back to Landers. And Landers pushes the pile ahead with help from LaShawn Mays. Nice lead block. He's just a big body that pushes.
Did you see how the Silver Creek linemen just stay on their blocks? They hook onto the man and just stay on that block, and they're moving that Providence defense
They're
back
like
3 or 4
remoras,
yards.
them little fish that get on the shark.
There
man.
you go. That's right. Yeah.
They get on there, you ain't getting them off. 1st and goal, ball at the 2-yard line. Silver Creek trying to punch it in again.
It's very frustrating for the defensive linemen to have those guys that just stay with their blocks. Oh, there you go.
Mays races to the end zone. Started inside, found some room outside. Felt that opening and ran to it.
And if you look together, I was watching Tim Clark, the left guard, on his block. And, he blocked his man almost into the end zone.
And that touchdown makes it 27-0 here at the second quarter, 7:25 to go. And McIntyre trying to tack on one more.
McIntyre on for the point after.
Snap and the hold are good. Kick is up. And it's there. And we're at 28-0 here in the second quarter, not even halfway through the second quarter yet. Silver Creek putting on a clinic tonight.
Well, and I think you're seeing what's happening with Providence now that they're kind of undermanned, and Silver Creek has better athletes. Their offensive linemen, which we knew they were good when we watched them against Charlestown, are dominating, which we said was one of the keys of the game. The other problem that Providence is having, Mike, is they're giving up the ball. They're giving up the ball too soon. They're running 3 plays and out, and they're not getting any long drives.
That is hurting them. Yeah,
they're not slowing down the game. And here's the cheerleaders doing 28 jumping jacks now.
I'm glad it's them and not me. 28-0 to score here in the second quarter. Pioneers down to 1 timeout left in the half. They used 3 in the first quarter.
22 cheerleaders.
And they're still on the sidelines getting some instruction from Coach McDonald. They're going to be told to get back on the field here in just a moment. The referees only give you so much grace, and then they get testy.
Yeah, well, I don't know if this is one of these COVID timeouts. But I think Coach is probably asking his players to find something, dig deep a little bit, and see what we can come up with. He preaches being relentless, and what all that means to his program. And it's hard. It's hard for the kids when you got 29 players or 30 players, and you got 10, 11 of them going both ways. It's hard.
Now, the one thing about Providence that I can say with a lot of certainty is that this school and this program will bounce back. And they may be down a bit, but they're certainly not out.
Right.
Kick headed toward the sideline. It bounces, and it goes out of bounds. Did he
touch it before it went out of bounds?
Oh, my goodness. He should have let it. Oh, now they throw the flag down? So what's the call here?
Oh, well, it's going to call it ball out of bounds, but I believe he touched the ball when he was still in bounds.
We'll see what the call is.
They're going to bring it out to the 35.
Well, they caught a break that time.
Yeah, big break. That was a big break. That was a mental mistake by Jackson Murphy. And
well, you know from experience how many ball drills are done during the season. Get to the ball, get to the ball, get to the ball. Fumble drills. And it's just drilled into a player so that when he's on the field and a ball is bouncing, to not grab it takes great composure.
Right.
Especially when you're a quarterback. 1st and 10 at 35-yard line, and Providence takes over.
Providence needed the break, and this is their break they needed.
Murphy, quarterback in the shotgun. Gettelfinger, jet sweep left side. Nice head of steam, and about 10 yards on the carry. We'll see where they put it down at. Was it enough for a first?
It looked like it.
He's got to get to the 45.
Yep, first down.
And they're going to give it to him. Just across the line, 1st and 10, Providence.
And it looks like they're going back to those plays that they started the game off with, Mike, that bunched formation with the sweep. And it should be, I would think they're going to bunch it over here to this side, to our right side. There it is.
See, the thing that will make that effective is when they can counter off that.
Right. So here's the bunch. Watch them block. They'll block down inside. There it is, 1, 2 blocks.
Fakes. Lost the ball.
No, he's still fighting, though.
Jackson Murphy squirts out of the pile and dives ahead for 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. He got something out of nothing there. Broken play, it looks like. Just short of midfield, ball on the 49-yard line. Silver Creek on the defensive side of the ball, but they have a 4-touchdown lead. They're a little bit more confident now than they may have been at 7 o'clock when the game started. 2nd and 6.
I still got to believe that Providence has got a counter or a pass play off of this bunch. Here it comes again. Bunch. That's a keeper.
Quarterback countered. But he lost the ball. And a loose ball covered by the Pioneers.
And it just laid on the ground for such a long time before anybody reacted to it.
I almost got down there, and I'm not moving as fast as I used to. Tyrone Davis covers the loose ball. Loss of 4. It'll be 3rd and 10. And Pioneers catch a break there.
Yes, they did. And I'm surprised. I know what they're doing. They've got that bunch, and Silver Creek is overplaying it right now. But, boy, Gettelfinger's the big dog. Feed him.
Yeah. He's made some plays tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Double wing, motion.
Fakes the handoff, puts it in the air. Into the hands, out of the hands of Gettelfinger.
Oh, they're going to call a penalty. That's not a good call. That's not a good call.
Trey Shane.
Yeah, not a good call. Gettelfinger still had his hand on that ball. I mean, that's not a good call.
But it was made.
They're going to call targeting again, I think. Personal foul. Yeah, that's not a good call. That's not a good call. But he's closer to it than we are.
Yep. They made it, and that's what it is. Yeah. It's official. So a break for the Providence Pioneers. Gettelfinger did everything but pull that thing in. I mean, went out to get it. Ball down at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. Break for the Pioneers on the 15-yard penalty.
Well, they've had 2 breaks on this series so far. The kickoff's going out of bounds, and now that penalty. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Whoops. We got some linemen who are out of place. Here we go.
Wait for the snap. Out of the
Gettelfinger.
Straight ahead. Off the right side.
Not much there.
No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Logan Myers on the tackle. 58. Logan Myers.
Came in, made a nice hit.
Yes, he did.
A little confusion that time on that play for Providence. It looked that way anyway.
Well, they didn't have some of the linemen were out of position, and they were trying to get people in and out, and now we're trading hand pads.
Andrew Singleton goes out, the offensive line. 2nd and 10. 5:05.
There's the bunch. Oh, my, Providence is moving, I think.
I think everybody knew the count except the center, because everybody was seemingly moving.
Yeah, everybody but the center. So everybody was wrong except the center.
The center's never wrong.
That's right. He can't be. He can't be. He's the man.
2nd and 15 after the 5-yard penalty.
Actually, the most important person on the field is the center.
You know, it sounds like somebody who was a former center.
That's right. Well, the thing how boring the game would be if the center never moved the ball.
Oh, that's true.
So he's the most important person out there.
You do have a point. It's the only player that on the offense that touches it every play.
That's right.
Unless you got a really special trick play. 2nd and 15. Shotgun for Murphy, man in motion. He's going to follow his blocks. But what great sweeping defensive coverage. They just swarm to the ball, and Murphy really had nowhere to go.
And since they ran it away from us, we could see how Silver Creek pursued to the ball. There was nobody in containment on the backside.
You're right.
Any kind of reverse was wide open.
Loss of 2. It's going to be 3rd and 17. This drive going the wrong direction, even with the help from some penalties. Providence needs to get some positive yards here to keep the drive alive.
They do.
At least get into a makeable 4th down play.
Yeah, see if they can pick up 7 or 8. That'd give them a chance on 4th down.
Gettelfinger in motion. Murphy.
There's the pass.
Going to put it downfield and overthrows David Wall. Good call. I like the call.
Yeah, I do too.
Just didn't execute. It'll be 4th and 17. I've been hoping to see David Wall go up and catch a pass. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, maybe instead of running them deep, it might have been better to run them back about 15 yards and stop and curl back inside.
Well, I mean, it's just mathematics here at this point.
Right.
The farther you throw the ball, the lower the odds go of catching it, especially at this level of the game.
Right. Yeah.
So the shorter the pass, the more likely you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Because quarterbacks at this level don't have the touch that you see at the next level.
No. Time for a fake punt? No, I don't think so.
Waiting for the snap. There it is.
Snap.
Kruger has it. Gets it away. High end-over-end punt. Going to bounce.
Going to bounce.
No return.
Get out of the way.
And the Pioneers will down it inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Silver Creek. So their punt team doing their job.
Yep. Cole Davidson almost blocked that for Silver Creek. And if you remember the Charlestown game, I think they had 2 or 3 block punts in that game.
I believe they did. 1st and 10 will be the Silver Creek ball. 3 minutes, 54 seconds here in the second quarter. Dylan Meyer, the quarterback, in the pistol. LaShawn Mays behind him. Man in motion is Trey Shane.
Oh, there's the reverse on an inside handoff.
And Ben Landers.
That was a tricky play.
A lot of movement, and Ben Landers comes out with it.
That's a play that takes a great deal of practice and time because they're running the jet sweep, and then the running back that's got the ball in the jet sweep is now handing it inside to another back coming the opposite direction. Heck of a play.
13-yard gain. It's 1st and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. 3.5 to go. Myers waits for the snap, rolls out to his right. He's going to put it downfield, has a receiver. Trey Shane gets the reception and the 1st down.
What a nice pass. I mean, he rolled right, got his shoulders turned through a bullet. That was a beautiful pass.
Coverage by Brian Wall. He'll get the stop, but not until they pick up a good gain of 20. 1st and 10, midfield.
So you can see that Silver Creek has been working on their passing game, can't you?
Yeah, it's
that was
definitely a step up.
Yep, that was obvious on that particular play right there.
Meyer this time rolls to his left. Has a receiver. And a 1st down. And more. And finally brought down at the 15-yard line by Brian Wall, Jackson Murphy, and on the reception that time was Bryson Gatlin.
And I tell you, Trey Shane is one hard-nosed player. He blocked the kid from Providence and just laid the wood to him.
35-yard gain, 1st and 10, ball in the 15. Handoff, Ben Landers, looking, threading, dancing, diving, picks up 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Clock running down, 2:48. 2nd and 5. Silver Creek knocking on the door once again in the red zone for the 5th time this evening. 4 previous trips, 4 touchdowns. Myers puts Landers in motion, dances around. LaShawn Mays at the handoff. Stiff arms the first tackler, dives ahead. He's going to be short of the first down by about a yard or 2. 3rd and a couple.
Nice stiff arm. You don't see that very often anymore. Nice stiff arm.
They don't teach that much. Make it 3rd and 1. Ball down at the 6-yard line. Clock down to about 2 minutes to go in the half. Silver Creek very deliberate on this drive.
Yes, they are.
Not in a hurry, but efficient.
Like the passing game.
LaShawn Mays this time.
Kettlefinger on the stunt, came through clean and just wiped out LaShawn Mays.
Was he in the huddle for Silver Creek because he knew that play?
He certainly wasn't blocked, that's for darn sure.
Timeout taken by Silver Creek, not a big surprise as the clock down to 1:41. We'll take a break, be back with more right after this on Glycott.
How do you measure success? In points? In wins? Or trophies? At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in how we support our communities, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
Welcome back, Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here. Silver Creek ahead 28-0 over the Providence Pioneers. They've got the ball. 4th and 5, nice 4-yard loss. Attribute that to Jeremy Gettelfinger, who
just sniffed it out.
He sniffed it out and shut it down. LaShawn Mays said, "Hello, Mr. Gettelfinger. What are you doing in our backfield?"
Yeah, LaShawn Mays doesn't get stopped for no gain very often.
Much less a 4-yard loss. 4th and 5 here. Silver Creek trying to come away with some points here at the end of the second quarter.
Look for that counter play. We're going to fake the ball to Mays and get Shane or Ben Landers the counter back over here to the left.
Referees waiting. Play whistled in. And they're going to roll to the right. Myers reverses his field. He's going to run it into the end zone. So much pursuit. Providence sells out to the right. He goes left.
And you got to be disciplined when you're the backside defensive end, backside tackle, backside outside linebacker. You have to be disciplined to not just chase after that play.
Yeah.
You've got to hold your ground. You got to keep leverage. And Providence's players just sold out, and Dylan Myers found the weak spot, cut it back, and really there should have been a defensive end or outside linebacker standing right there.
Kick is up, and that is it. 35-point lead, and I believe we may be in a running clock situation now. That's a change, is relatively recent in the last several years.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of it for a lot of reasons, but it is what it is. We live in the world that is, not the one we want sometimes.
Yeah, and that's a shame because Providence's players need game time experience. All their players do. They need game time experience. And the Silver Creek kids that coach is going to put in the game in the second half need playing experience also. And the running clock just takes that away from them.
Yeah, it robs the second stringers from a chance
it really
to
does.
shine.
And I understand. I mean, usually it's up to the coach if he wants to call the dogs off or if he wants to pile it on. And there's really nothing you can do about it. If you're an opposing coach and you're down 35-0, you just got to have your kids play better and play harder. And next week it'll be a learning situation, and they'll.
Well, I will say that this is not a case of him piling it on.
No.
Silver Creek just making some plays,
Yeah.
and in this case, and I've not said this too often in the last 30, 40 years, but Providence is outmatched tonight.
Yeah.
But next week will be a different story. We'll have these Pioneers again next week as they take on the Clarksville Generals, who are beating Charlestown the last time I heard, which would be a huge win for that program. They've been down in the dumps for a number of years, but win the first 2 games of the season this year, and the battle for Clarksville next week is the one we'll bring to you. Go ahead and throw that splash screen up real quick.
Yeah, we don't have any updates on any of the scores, so if we can get some updates, that'd be great. We'll make sure our viewers all know what's going on around us, and they're at Southern Indiana, local teams.
That's next Friday night, pregame 6:30, kickoff 7 o'clock, Clarksville and Providence.
Back to receive, number 31, Gettlefinger, number 7, Murphy.
Murphy and Gettlefinger deep for the Pioneers. McIntyre ready to kick. Minute 33 left on the clock. Kick is up. Going to be taken by Murphy. Gettlefinger runs up to block for him, and Murphy
Good
doesn't get
return.
too far. Great tackle that time.
35-yard line.
Jake Lucas and I believe Caden Smith also in on the tackle for the Dragons. It'll be 1st and 10 Pioneers. Ball at the 34-yard line. They've got to go 66 yards to get a score, and they've got a $1.26 to do it.
And no timeouts.
Well, they've got one left.
Oh, they have one left?
They do have one. Dragons have 3. Pioneers have one in the tank. They have 4 timeouts this year because of the COVID. Murphy back by himself, bunched to the right. Motion. And they counter back to Cole Kreninger. And he'll get a couple yards maybe. That's running away from that bunch, which is one thing we said, will they do?
Yeah.
There it was.
And it doesn't look like much, but it does slow down the Silver Creek defense, because now that's something else they need to be concerned about is that little counter play.
It gets in your head. I've been the defender, and when you don't see that, you don't see it, and you don't see it, and all of a sudden you see it, now you've got to stop.
Right.
Because now you have to make a decision on every play, not just run on instinct.
Right.
2nd and 8. Man in motion, Gettlefinger. Second man through. Kreninger.
Hard run. Good play.
Puts his head down and picks up some gut yards that time.
Surprised we're not seeing Gettlefinger carry the ball more though, tonight.
Not as much as I would have expected.
Yeah, me neither.
He's going to be across the 40 to the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3. And they may get one more play off here before the half.
Andrew Singleton at center is a big young man from Providence.
First year playing football.
6'3", 280.
Kreninger again dives ahead. Did he get enough for the first down?
It looks like it.
He does, and that'll stop the clock with 8 seconds.
Shouldn't stop the clock.
Well, it is a running clock, but
the clock shouldn't be stopped. If it's a running clock, it's supposed to run.
The referee is saying run the clock.
Yeah.
And Providence runs up to get it off, but I don't think they're going to happen. They do.
Yeah, they did.
They did get it off. Murphy going to throw up a bomb. David Wall completely overthrew the student body.
Yeah. Good night.
At the half, Silver Creek 35, Providence nothing. We'll take a break, be back with our halftime coverage right after this on Glycod.
Let's be honest. You don't see Grandma nearly enough. Which means the dead car battery you've spent the morning dealing with has robbed her of precious grandkid time. It's unfortunate, sure, but it's not like she's going to write you out of her will or anything. Right? When you need to be there, you need an Interstate. The car battery auto techs prefer.
Dr. Carter's office, Annette speaking. How may I help you?
From your very first call, the warm personal care from Dr. Todd Carter and his friendly staff at Carter Family Dentistry will put you at ease. Dr. Carter can take care of you and your family's dental needs, from gentle cleaning to complex procedures. Visit drtoddcarter.com to learn why generations put their trust in Dr. Carter for their dental health. Or to schedule an appointment, call Annette or Joyce at 812-944-5155. Located at 809 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany.
The Clark County Youth Coalition, Clark County's local coordinating council for a drug-free Indiana, presents What's Your Side Effect? Join the movement of thousands of young people working together to build a better world through living healthy, passionate, drug-free lifestyles. Our program includes tips that will help you live the good life and make chasing your dreams a lot easier. Get healthy, get inspired, get the facts at what'syoursideeffect.org.
Funding provided by the State of Indiana Division of Mental Health and Addiction.
You're born with the brain power to make smart choices and the opposable thumbs to click on them. You shop carefully for a lot of things, but what about your bank? Better borrowing rates? Yes, please. Lower fees? Duh. More money for you, less for the bank. Access to a cooperative network of convenient locations and a place where they go the extra mile for you. It's your money. Start right here. Centra Credit Union. Centra.org.
Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Centra Credit Union, centered around you. Find out about online banking and other services by visiting Centra.org.
And welcome back here. Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here at halftime, where the score, Silver Creek 35, Providence nothing. Really a dominant performance by the Dragons in the first half, and we'll have a running clock in the second. But let's take a quick look at the scoreboard of other games while we are here in our break. Hey, can you hand me that there, Ashton? Thank you very much. Ashton Beck doing our scoreboard and keeping scores of other games. At the half, Charlestown scored a couple of times. They now lead 14-13 over Clarksville. Good game. That one. That would be a good game, and good Clarksville giving them everything they want, and Charlestown has found themselves in a real battle. Yeah, sure have. Floyd Central on the road tonight at Cincinnati Elder, one of the premier programs in the country, not just in the state of Ohio, and the Highlanders trail 28-6 in the second quarter in that one. But a good showing there, and nothing shabby. Well, that's a real road trip there. So it's hard to travel with high school kids, and it's hard to travel and go to one of the best teams in the country. But, it's a good learning experience for Floyd Central. They don't get to do those kinds of things very often. Well, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best, I always believe. That's exactly right. I agree with you 100%. And we have an update on the oldest rivalry. The oldest football rivalry in the state of Indiana is New Albany and Jeffersonville. Tonight, the Bulldogs lead it at halftime. The score 12-7. New Albany up over Jeffersonville at the half. So that's your scoreboard update here at the half. We'll take a break and come back with more of our halftime coverage right after this on Glycod. Stay with us, folks.
How do you measure success? In points? In wins? Or trophies? At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in how we support our communities, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
The only name you need to know for all your auto repair needs is Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Sure, our name might be hard to say, but we can fix everything no one else wants to fix. Big or small, we can do it all. Foreign or domestic, if it needs repair, Voinier's can handle the job. The only thing high-tech about us is what we do, and we're up front with you and we'll do the job right. One thing we have to sell is our time, and we won't waste yours. Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Family-owned since 1981. Call us for all of your auto repair needs.
The Clark County Youth Coalition, Clark County's local coordinating council for a drug-free Indiana, presents What's Your Side Effect? Join the movement of thousands of young people working together to build a better world through living healthy, passionate, drug-free lifestyles. Our program includes tips that will help you live the good life and make chasing your dreams a lot easier. Get healthy, get inspired, get the facts at what'syoursideeffect.org.
Funding provided by the state of Indiana, Division of Mental Health and Addiction.
Dubuque County Fair is about to get its face melted! Yeah!
1 second. I guess their faces are safe. This is the...
Shut up, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff, shut up.
Shut up, Jeff.
I don't need your help.
Just like what happened in Pittsburgh.
Never mention Pittsburgh!
When you need to be there, you need an Interstate, the car battery auto techs prefer.
Come by Interstate Batteries, 1510 Production Road, Jeffersonville.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
Welcome back here. Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek, and it is halftime. The score, 35-0. Silver Creek really demonstrating their dominance tonight at home. Third home game in a row because of that switch up with Charlestown to start the season. They've been homestanding for a while. They'll take it on the road, I believe, next week. But interesting game so far, Jim. What are we seeing from not from the Highlanders, from the Dragons? I'm sorry.
Well, they're very dominant. Their coach said they were going to put the ball in the air more. They did tonight. You can tell they've been practicing that. That's going to give them another dimension to get ready for games at the end of the season when they're really going to need that. They're dominant everywhere. They're dominant in the line. They're dominant in the backfield. Their receivers are better. There's nowhere that Providence has an advantage. There's nothing on the field that gives Providence an advantage. Gettelfinger's really a good player, but it's hard for him to even to make things happen because the Silver Creek defensive players are swarming to him.
Yeah, he's not got a lot of room to work,
Right.
and that kind of limits his effectiveness. Pioneers have had one opportunity really in the game where they had the muffed kickoff and then the penalty. They got down into Silver Creek territory, but weren't able to really turn it into points. And Silver Creek stiffened, that bend and not break mentality. They showed that early in the first quarter, and Providence really has not recovered from that.
And I think Providence got down to about the 30-yard line and really could have had an opportunity, but it ended up with a 3rd and 15 that turned into a 4th and 15, and the coach decided to punt the ball rather than give up some more field position, and it didn't make any difference because Silver Creek went down and scored anyways.
All right, well, we'll take another break. We'll come back with our halftime adjustments, and that may be a list. I'll let you get started on that, Coach. Take a break. Be back with that and more as our halftime coverage continues here on Glycod.
Hey, who are you?
Oh, hey, Jeff, I'm a car thief.
What?
I'm here to steal your car because, well, that's my job.
What?
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 It happens. And if you got cut rate car insurance, paying for this could feel like getting robbed twice. So get Allstate. And be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Call Jeffersonville Allstate agent Packy Page today at 812-282-2970. Subject to terms, conditions, and coverage selected.
A proud supporter of the Providence Pioneers and Southern Indiana High School athletics, Mack Construction is a second-generation company that provides quality workmanship in heavy civil construction, asphalt, and streetscape while maintaining focus on worksite safety and productivity. Put Mack Construction's nearly 40 years of award-winning service to work for your project. For more information, visit mackconstruction.com. Mack Construction. Experience. Reputation. Solutions.
I was at practice one day, kind of made a cut through the lane, and I noticed that I landed on my knee a little weird. I saw my trainer here at school, and they highly recommended that I go to priority radiology. Any athlete, when you do go down with an injury, the first thing you think about is just how long that you're going to be out. Going to Priority radiology, where I could get my results back quickly, made a big difference because I wasn't left waiting for weeks before I could even start a treatment. I was able to get what I needed right away.
This second shift, this old pair of pants, this staycation, this brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it, to protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer.
Dr. Carter's office, Annette speaking. How may I help you?
From your very first call, the warm personal care from Dr. Todd Carter and his friendly staff at Carter Family Dentistry will put you at ease. Dr. Carter can take care of you and your family's dental needs, from gentle cleaning to complex procedures. Visit drtoddcarter.com to learn why generations put their trust in Dr. Carter for their dental health. Or to schedule an appointment, call Annette or Joyce at 812-944-5155. Located at 809 Mount Tabor Road in New Albany.
Hi, this is Sheriff Jamie Knoll of the Clark County Sheriff's Office reminding you to please buckle up, wear your seatbelts, and refrain from texting while you're behind the wheel. Your safety is our priority. Enjoy the game.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
Welcome back, Mike. Jim Kazmarek here up in the booth, and we're getting quite a treat as the halftime music. We have to make sure we keep it low so that you don't hear. We don't get in trouble, but they're playing some country music right now.
Yep.
And the Silver Creek School District in Sellersburg, Indiana, kind of that hybrid. It's still got a little bit of a feel of the old days when Silver Creek was a rural school, but it's become much more suburban as of late, right. And there's a transition taking place here at Silver Creek,
and you can even hear it in the music that between the country music and the hard rock and the rap that we've heard so far tonight. It is a transition,
a little bit of everything,
and they're in that transition actually.
They are, and Silver Creek again. I don't get a paycheck from them. We're not on their payroll. I didn't graduate from this school, but you look around and you see the schools that are on that growth curve because of demographics, changes in the culture. Silver Creek is one of those schools positioned to take advantage of all the upward trends, and it shows on the field. 10 years ago they didn't have football, now they do. Now they are becoming one of the dominant teams in Southern Indiana, not quite to the level of a 5A, 6A school, but knocking on that door.
And in a few years, that door will open for them. And I know athletic director Dablow, he would love to upgrade their facilities. They probably need a turf field somewhere down the line, which is happening in a lot of schools around here.
Yeah, they're popping up.
They probably need some locker facilities here on the football field. They probably need to upgrade their practice facility a little bit. But those are all actually minor things that the school district can do for them. This is a great thing for their community. I still remember last year before the COVID and the social distancing, how many people were at these games.
Oh, my goodness.
There were thousands of people. This was a Silver Creek happening, Sellersburg, Cementville,
Speed.
Yeah, Speed. This was a happening for these areas.
In Hamburg.
Yeah.
They love
Covered
football.
Bridge.
Yeah. I remember more than a decade ago when the first wave drive to get football reestablished here started, and I thought, man, that's going to be a tall order. You don't see that often these days. They made it happen, and they've done it done it the right way. It's taken them some time, but they hired some good coaches, and David Pappenhouse, the latest great hire here at Silver Creek, and he's done a great job with his squad.
Well, they had Jason Hawkins when they actually made the commitment. Jason Hawkins was hired. He was here for a year, and then he left to go back to Charlestown. And they brought Coach Dablow in from Eastern High School, and that was a real find for them. To get a person of his quality was a real find for Silver Creek.
Yeah.
And then when he stepped aside to become the athletic director, you talked about it last week. It was a perfect hire. They couldn't have come up with anything more perfect than Dave Pappenhouse.
Well, I've seen schools, you have too, that make bad hires. This was a case where there was a great one.
Right.
Let's talk about those halftime adjustments. We'll start with the Pioneers. They're on the road. They've got a lot to do. And to be honest, with the running clock, there's not much they're going to get accomplished tonight. But as a coach, what do you want them to try to do if you're Dan McDonald?
Well, if I'm in their locker room, and I've been in a locker room like that. So you're just you got to find positives. You've got to. You can't beat the kids down. They're already beat down on the scoreboard. So you find some positives to work with the kids, and you use this as a very good practice situation, and you run some very basic plays, and just keep practicing. And we're going to get better, and we're going to watch this on film tomorrow, and we're going to see where we got better, and we're going to be positive about it. And that's about all you can do. Just use this as a very good practice session for you. Bunch in the sweep, about maybe a pass play off of that, not a 30 or 40-yard bomb, but just a nice 12, 15-yard bootleg pass.
Like see the tight end sneak out or something?
Yeah, just something simple. Give the quarterback something simple to pass and catch. A counter play, a reverse play, something to slow down Silver Creek's pursuit. So I'd like to see them do that. Let's practice that play. Let's practice that play in the second half.
All right, Silver Creek, they're up by 5 touchdowns. Clearly having a good night tonight. Yep. Beautiful night, by the way, for football. Perfect night. What do you do to keep your team's head in the game and motivated here?
Well, I just drill in keeping your intensity. Keep your intensity. Keep your intensity. We can get better. Look at these mistakes we made in the first half. Now we can get better. We can do this and get better at it. In this second half, I want you to get better than you did in the first half. I want to challenge my team to stay intense and to get a little bit better in the second half.
Okay, well.
And I'm going to give my other kids a chance to play.
Yeah, second squad members will see some action, I'm sure. Coach Pappenhouse is not only a coach, but he's also a teacher, and he wants to make sure that he teaches some lessons to all the players. And it's good for them to get a chance to shine on the varsity field and to get some real-time reps. Practice is not a game.
No.
Speed is completely different.
Yep.
And you don't get to stop and do it over. You just gotta live with what's happened.
Yeah, you can't blow the whistle and say timeout. I want you to line up and do that again. Nope, you're in the wrong spot. Move over here.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't happen in the game.
This is real time now.
I can remember coaching the offensive line, and of course you practice what you think the other team is going to do and how they're going to line up, and you do your blocking schemes like that. And then the kids would come out after the first series of plays, and they'd say, "Coach, they're not where you said they were going to be." I said, "Well, what do you want me to do? Call timeout and tell them to get where they're supposed to be?" We need to make adjustments on the fly.
Funny how that works.
Yeah.
The other team doesn't cooperate with your plays.
Nope, they don't.
Well, both teams have finished their warm-ups. Clock is down to just a few seconds left. Ashton Beck doing a yeoman's job tonight on the clock scoreboard for us, and it's not as easy as it looks, folks. If you ever have to do this, if you ever were asked to do this, you'd pull your hair out. Fortunately, she's got a lot of hair.
Yeah, well, and I'm going to tell you, Mike, when I sit here, and the only thing I have to do is wear this headset and talk. And my job is very, very easy in this. When I watch you and what you have to go through on that with the computer, and what Ashton goes through on the computer, and what Will does upstairs on that camera, I'm glad that all I have to do is talk.
Will Harper back at his normal post, and we're glad to have him back after a close call with COVID. He was around someone, had to go through the protocol, and wasn't able to travel with us last week. But my wife, of all people, filled in for us on camera last week, did a fantastic job, and I'm so blessed to have her in my life.
And
tonight she's taking a bubble bath.
I would tell you, and I'll tell you this right after this kickoff by Jonathan.
McIntyre kicks it up, bounces into the hands of Gettelfinger, comes up the left sideline, cuts back.
Oh he
my
could
goodness.
be gone.
Big play. McIntyre, the last one to get to him. Nope, caught from behind by Bryson Gatlin, but a great return by Jeremy Gettelfinger.
And now you know why they were not kicking the ball to Gettelfinger in the first half.
Bryson Gatlin with some speed there, chased down Gettelfinger from the other side of the field. McIntyre got in his way, slowed him down a bit, but you know kickers don't like to make tackles.
And here's where Coach Pappenhaus is meeting McIntyre as he comes off the field and telling him, I told you to not kick the ball to Gettelfinger. Don't you know what number he is? And he's still talking to him. Very seldom does a kicker get yelled at, but I think Coach Pappenhaus is kind of upset with him, and so is the kicking coach.
1st and 10, ball at the 12-yard line. Murphy, a little delayed, quarterback draw, down to the 10. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
And see, this is probably something that Coach Pappenhaus needed to happen because it's going to give him something now to be upset about, and he's going to have something. He's going to talk about intensity with his players tomorrow.
Now they spot that. Yeah, they spotted down at the 10. Okay, 2nd down and 7 based on the numbers here we're seeing. A little confusion on that first play. But, see, one of the things the defense likes to do is to pitch that shutout, and now that's in jeopardy.
Yes, it is. So we'll see how intense how they intensity. There's the bunch again.
Motion.
Gettelfinger, give it to him.
He's got it. He's running behind his blocks.
Oh, there's a hold. There's a hold. Oh, they didn't call it. Oh, that was such a bad holding penalty, and they didn't call it. Number 12 got held. He actually got tackled. He fumbled it, and it's a touchback.
What?
Yes, he fumbled the ball through the end zone, and it's a touchback. And Silver Creek gets the ball.
I was trying to see what happened there. I was seeing the signal. I'm thinking, touchback?
Yeah.
Don't you mean touchdown? No. What a break. First, oh, my goodness.
Terrible break.
Providence, you just got a feel for him here. Defense comes up with a stop. Man, what do you got to do to get some points? That's a heartbreaker right there.
So a minute ago we were talking about your wonderful wife Natalie.
Yeah.
And I would tell you, you don't play the lottery, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh, good, because you used up all your luck when she said yes.
Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome.
1st and 10, Silver Creek ball. Snap. Dylan Meyer makes the connection. First down pass right on the money.
So, based on that play right there, it looks like the adjustment that Silver Creek is going to say is we're going to practice our passing game. I'm not going to try to run the score up, but I'm practicing my passing game right now. And that's the first time you saw him do a little 3-step drop and throw a quick out to a receiver.
Yeah, and guess who the receiver was? Ben Landers.
Ben Landers. He's
he's everywhere.
Talented. Receiver, running back, linebacker.
2nd down and a long one. Ball just short of the 29-yard line. Little Trey Shane gets the handoff and a head of steam. Boy, I hate to be the one to make the first hit on him.
Boy, he's one hard-nosed kid, isn't he?
He sure is. Tackle by Brian Wall, comes up from his safety position, but a first down is made.
And that's that jet sweep, and Silver Creek is making really a lot of yardage on that one simple play.
Ball on the 36, 1st and 10, Silver Creek. Myers with the snap, rolls out to his left. Not going to get his feet set. He's going to put him on the ground. Keeps running forward and picks up good yardage. 6, maybe 7. We'll see where they stop it. 2nd and 3.
And Mike, when you got a running quarterback like that and he's a sprint out passer, you always tell him it's run first. Run first, pass second.
Yeah.
You can run for 7 yards, which is a lot easier than trying to throw a 7-yard pass.
And that is tough on the corners because they never know when to release to come up.
Right.
And so that makes it even harder because if you come off your man and then he pulls that ball out and throws it.
And let me tell you, you don't want your corners to come off their man.
No.
You want your linebackers to contain.
2nd and 3. Meyer keeps it, fakes the handoff, throws the pass. Connection is made. And a tackle. But a nice catch that time by Miles Roundtree.
Yeah, right. He's the tight end. He's a good blocker, and now he made a nice catch and has a little bootleg pass. So, Coach Papp, you can see what he's planning on doing. He is now practicing his passing game, And that, like I say, he's not trying to run the score up. He's practicing what he needs to do.
1st and 10, ball across the 45 down to the 42-yard line. Silver Creek marching forward. 6.5 to go in the third quarter. Landers in motion. Fakes the handoff to LaShawn Mays. Myers threading the defense. Will not go down. And
got a flag.
Late flag, probably a hold.
It could be a face mask. It happened right in there where all the tackling was happening. Uh-oh.
And we have an injury on the field for Silver Creek, and this is the one thing you don't want to see happen.
Right.
Injuries to your starters. They've got a flag on the play and an injury. We'll take a break as they attend to the player. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Glycod's coverage of Kentucky and high school football.
The only name you need to know for all your auto repair needs is Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Sure, our name might be hard to say, but we can fix everything no one else wants to fix. Big or small, we can do it all. Foreign or domestic, if it needs repair, Voinier's can handle the job. The only thing high-tech about us is what we do, and we're up front with you and we'll do the job right. One thing we have to sell is our time, and we won't waste yours. Voinier's Auto and Truck Repair. Family-owned since 1981. Call us for all of your auto repair needs.
This portion of tonight's game on Glycod is brought to you by W.M. Kelly in New Albany. Find out about a rewarding career by emailing info@wmkelly.com.
And welcome back, Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here, as we have an injury timeout on the field, and this is not what you want to see happen, especially in a game where things have kind of gotten out of hand score-wise. You don't want any players to get hurt, and it looks like we have one relatively serious injury. They immediately come out with the cast, an air cast, to try to stabilize the leg. We saw this last week at Eastern Hancock. Brendan Sandvin from the New Albany Bulldogs, a senior, blew out his ACL on the play. We couldn't see it directly, but we could tell immediately. I mean, as soon as he went down, people were rushing to his side.
Right.
And that was the response here as well. We do not know the player, and so we'll not announce that until we can say with certainty what's going on. But Silver Creek players taking a knee, and this is part of the adversity that comes along in a season when you lose a player like Brendan Sandvin, one of the defensive leaders for the Bulldogs. And one play he's there, the next play he's gone for the season.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's a jolt that teams find a way through, and other times it can really be a setback.
Right. Yeah, and you just hope and pray the best that it's not as serious as what it could be.
Well,
and the young man is up and about sometime in the near future.
A lot of times when you have the big linemen up there, the problem is that their legs get planted and then they can't get it to release when they get pushed or torqued.
Well, what happens a lot of times, Mike, is they're in their block and they got their leg planted in a pile, if somebody else falls down on their
rolls up onto them, yeah. And that's an awful thing. I've been not with a leg injury, but I know what it's like to be on the field when everything stops. That's not the kind of attention you want.
Right.
But our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the player. We don't know who it is at the moment, but one of the Providence Pioneers. And it's not Riley Gunther. I can rule him out. I see him on the field. Trying to look at some of the other 7 players, but not really seeing. And so I will just wait. It's not Jack Slater, so 79-78. It's hard to say, so we'll just wait.
We'll just wait. So it's unfortunate. We're kind of at a stop again. I'm looking at some of Silver Creek's people are moving some containment lines down.
Bring an ambulance out to get him.
I don't know if they're bringing an ambulance in now. Seems like it should be. Ambulance should be stationed here at the field.
Yeah, I believe there usually is one.
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't see that right now.
I thought that was a requirement, actually. is it? But
I don't know if it's a requirement. It's just standard operating procedures.
If it's not it, let's just say
Yeah.
it. Brandon Upton is the injured player. 77. Brandon Upton is a junior 5'9", 195 pounds. And again, we have no idea the extent of the injury, but that was signaled up to the press box, Brandon Upton, the injury. And again, it's just frustrating. It's moments like these you remember this is just a game and these are just kids, high school students at that.
Right.
And he's going to, if it's something as an ACL, something like that, there's a long recovery. It's recoverable these days. It's amazing what you can do surgically. Lots changed since you played and even since I played.
Well, the slightest knee injury was a major surgery. Yeah, just a meniscus tear would be a major surgery, and you would really probably be out the season for it. Now it's orthoscopically done, and in 2 weeks you're back on the field.
It's amazing.
These types of injuries here obviously take much longer time, a lot of rehab, and it's a young body, so it heals a little quicker than you and I would.
Well, for sure. But an ACL is still a significant injury, and we pray that's not the case. We honestly don't know. And it could be a broken bone for all we know, but we'll pray that he will be dealt with. We're going ahead and take another break just to kind of break things up here for the moment. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching Glycod's coverage of Kentuckiana High School football. We'll be back right after this.
How do you measure success? In points? In wins? Or trophies? At Shelter Insurance, we measure success in the quality of our products and services, in how we support our communities, in being there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here on the sidelines. An injury timeout as the Silver Creek player being tended to on the field has been identified, Brandon Upton, and they're waiting for transport for him. I'm sure they'll take him to the hospital, and he will get excellent care and usually visits by cheerleaders. That's usually how that works.
Yeah.
But we in this stoppage, we did get some stats sent to us. So one thing that we have limitations for, and some of this is because of COVID. They're limiting the number of people in the booth. So normally we might be able to find somebody that could give us stats. There are just fewer people around to do that. Yeah. And I juggle a lot of balls, but
well, you can't do what you're doing. Let's do stats. Yeah, we did. There was a couple times in the past we've had someone doing stats for us. I picked some of my friends up to come along with us. But a young lady, or I'm assuming it's a young lady, Kenzie Winstead. Mm-hmm. Is that name familiar to you?
It is not, but we'll trust that she's not lying to us.
I'm thinking Kenzie is a nice young lady. Anyway, she has some halftime stats. Providence in the first half had 3 yards passing and 56 yards rushing for a grand total of 59 yards of total offense. And Silver Creek had 93 yards passing and 183 yards rushing for 276 yards of total offense. So you can see how dominant Silver Creek was in the first half of this game, and actually how dominant they've been so far this half.
Yeah, it's really been one-sided, and it just points to how Silver Creek really has all cylinders firing right now with their football program. Mm-hmm. A few years ago, they would have been a fire truck just arriving now.
Yeah,
I think they need an ambulance,
not
a ladder.
I think they need a fire truck. I think they got a hook and ladder. Kenzie Winstead, by the way, is not a young lady. It is a man.
Oh, my goodness.
He used to write for the Courier-Journal. Kenzie Winstead, I apologize. I'm sorry I didn't know you beforehand, but I do know you now.
We do apologize. And we are grateful that you would send us those stats.
Yes, thank you,
We do
Kenzie.
appreciate it.
Yes, thank you much.
And the fire truck has arrived. And I'm not sure if they got the wrong signal.
I don't know why they wouldn't have brought an ambulance, and I'm really amazed
that there's not one here.
That there's not an ambulance stationed here at this game. I have no answer for that.
Yeah. Well,
but I'm just stunned that that's not the case.
They've had one in the past, so maybe there was something that came up. Maybe there was a run that had to be made earlier that tied up the ambulance. I don't know.
Yeah.
Have no idea. So when I don't know, it's best to just admit that. I am married. I've learned that.
Just say you could be right.
You could be right. 35-0 your score here in the third quarter. We're in a running clock situation. Once you get ahead by 35, that's how that happens. They're bringing out a board now. And believe there's an ambulance over here on the near side. And crew coming out to take Mr. Upton to get the care that he's going to need. Frustrating night for him. This is not the way you want your season to end, but this type of injury will take about 11, 12 months. So maybe next year he'll be ready to go for his senior year.
So these gentlemen here don't seem to be in much of a hurry to get out on the field. All they've brought is a board. I'm not sure who's going to be carrying him off the field.
Yeah.
Surprised they don't at least have a gurney. I'm surprised the ambulance isn't out here on the field.
Coach, I'm sorry, he is coach, but John Dablow, now the athletic director, did open the gates and has made preparation for transport over there. They're moving him to the board to carry, but frustrating situation here, and it messes with the flow of the game. And obviously that's not the most important thing, but when you're a player on the other side and the Providence sideline, it's as unsettling as if he was on your team.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be honest.
It's very unsettling.
You never like to see this happen to a player.
Very, very unsettling.
You expect to come out of a game. I wore bruises like a badge of honor, but these types of things are not the same, and it's unfortunate. But he'll get a nice round of applause as they get him up and get him on the move. So, and folks are saying, I know sometimes people are wondering, why are we not showing that? Well, it's out of courtesy.
Yeah.
It's just a respect thing, folks. We're not going to, we've been desensitized in our culture so much because people just watch accidents and people getting shot, and that's just wrong.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just in my opinion, and that's what counts tonight.
Yeah, right.
My opinion, I'm not showing it.
But I am just, Mike, I'm amazed and stunned that there's not an ambulance out here and this young man hasn't been taken care of a little faster. And as much as I would praise Silver Creek,
well, we don't know why they're not here, but they're not, and that's the end of the story as far as we know. But I'm sure we'll find out what's going on as things move ahead.
So they're carrying him.
And it's a tough thing. So they're going to walk him off.
Jeez.
Standing ovation from the home crowd. And a sick feeling in the stomach for a lot of folks tonight. Again, not what you want to see and not what you hope to ever see at a football game, but it does happen. And sadly, that's how these things play out sometimes.
The first game of my senior year in high school, I was center and a defensive end and went up to block a pass and got hit in the leg and came down awkwardly on my knee, and knee twisted, and it was very painful, and I laid on the field. And you know what I could think of? I cannot believe this is happening in my first game of my senior year in high school, and I'm not going to play anymore.
No.
I was very fortunate that it wasn't as serious as it could have been.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't miss a game.
Wow.
But so I know that sick feeling you have when you're laying there thinking the worst possible thing.
Yep, I understand that. I played for New Albany, as you know, and in my senior year against Columbus East, at a goal line play, I went down low. The running back went low. Our heads met, and my entire body went numb, and I fell face down on the ground, unable to move. I couldn't feel or move anything, and that was the scariest feeling I've ever had.
Yeah, very scary.
Turned out to be okay, and I ended up a quick trip to the Columbus Hospital and a ride home that night. Just it was like a stinger, but a whole body stinger.
Right.
And
so what was the penalty?
Apparently they waved it off. 1st and 10, ball at the 43-yard line. Ben Landers dodges and weaves his way down to the 35-yard line, and kind of subdued crowd here after the injury to Mr. Upton, and they have him off the field and getting loaded up on the ambulance even as we speak. Now, there's something out there with red flashing lights. Maybe they'll take him on a fire truck. I don't know. But 2nd down and 3. Dylan Meyer, the quarterback, in the pistol. Trey Shane, handoff to LaShawn Mays. He's going to bounce it outside. He's got some speed. Look at his wheels. And a nice 2nd down run.
Yeah, he used that stiff arm again. I don't know if you noticed that. He had that stiff arm going again.
He knows how to use it. He used it effectively, and a big gain on 2nd and 3 makes it 1st.
1st and 10 from around the 14-yard line.
Ball at the 14-yard line, and Silver Creek knocking on the door once again. Starters still in on offense for Silver Creek. 4 minutes and some change left. Trey Shane dancing around. Now he gets set. Line in their set position. Shane in motion. He'll take the handoff, cuts it up. A lot of speed upfield.
Well, he is, isn't he?
He just explodes.
Yeah,
forward.
He does. And that's a hard cut. He's going full speed laterally, and he plants that foot, and then he goes vertical, and he's still going full speed.
He picked up 9 on that carry. It'll be 2nd down and 1. Ball down to the 5-yard line. Silver Creek going for some style points. High snap. LaShawn Mays gets the handoff. It's a foot race to the corner.
And he's in.
And it's a foot race that he wins.
Yeah.
There's the signal. A little delayed, but touchdown Silver Creek. And it's 41-0. And you have to think the next drive we may have to start looking at our roster pretty close.
Yeah, right. The the cheerleaders are right down here in front of us, so they're going to be doing 42 jumping jacks here for a minute. But they've got some kind of dangerous stunts where they're lifting the girls up, and it looks a little dangerous to me.
Snap and the holder good. Kick is up from McIntyre. And he's perfect tonight.
He is.
6 in a row.
6 for 6, and he's 13 for 15 on the season now.
Not bad. 42-0 here at the 3:50 mark, 3:49. Silver Creek to kick off. McIntyre will put his foot into it again. That's one thing about the kicker. When you kick the extra point, usually you turn around and get to kick a second one right after that, kicking off.
So you think he'll kick at the ghetto finger?
I would bet money that he doesn't. And if he does, he didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah, that's right. Coach Papp is going to meet him on the sideline again.
Now, here's the thing. I remember, because I did some kicking in junior high school, and I wasn't excellent at it, let's just say that. But the one thing that I would always have to explain to my father later was, why did you kick it that way? You know, well, I don't know. It just came off the foot like that.
Right.
You know, sometimes that ball doesn't always
go exactly where you want it to go.
Yeah.
Sounds like my golf game, actually.
Yeah, it is a little bit like that.
It doesn't go where I want it to go.
You're trying to hook it and you shank.
Yeah.
It's like, well
thanks.
I wanted to go there and it went over here.
So any of you golfers that are out there just heard Mike use the S word, disregard it completely.
McIntyre to kick from the 40. Little low liner taken by the up back. I believe that's Jackson Murphy.
Yes,
it is. He initiates the contact that time. Run right into the defender. I believe that was Zach Zimmerman, number 9 on the stop. So some new names.
But when I watched the the Silver Creek players, all of them just seem to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder when they make a block or they make a tackle or where they're disengaging from someone. It just seems that they have a little bit of a chip going on, which is a good thing. I mean, you got to play with the chip on your shoulder.
Got to play for pride.
Yeah.
42-0 here, third quarter, running clock, down 3 minutes, a couple of ticks and a penalty.
Offside on Silver Creek.
There was the pass to David Wall we've been looking for, and he caught it. Unfortunately, the penalty stopped it. Didn't happen. That penalty against Silver Creek.
Offside.
They offsides. 5-yard penalty. Be 1st and 5, but the way they spotted the ball looks more like 1st and 4.
It does, you're right.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't a math major, but I did take calculus, so I don't know. Here come the Pioneers, a short 1st and 5. Ball at the 43-yard line. Cole Krininger,
nice run. Put his shoulder down and
delivered a blow.
Yes, he did.
Finally brought down by Jake Lucas. But he came close and maybe got the first down. We'll have to see where they put it down. Nope, just short. Needed to get to the 47. He's at the 46. 3rd and 1. Or 2nd and 1, sorry. Thank you, Ashton. She's Johnny on the spot, or Janie on the spot, I guess.
Ashton on the spot.
Ashton on the spot. There you go. Man in motion, Gettelfinger takes the handoff.
Nowhere.
That one was well read and well defended. And it's going to be 3rd. Loss of 3, 3rd and 4.
And I think Silver Creek has made some substitutions on defense now.
Yeah, a lot of numbers out there that are not on my starter list. So David Wall split out. They're going to throw to him.
There you go. That's a nice. See that? That builds the quarterback's confidence. A nice little short.
Quick out.
You got a 6'4" receiver. Does a little quick out. He's open. Throw him the ball. 1, 2, 3. No sack. No trouble. First down.
Catch by David Wall. Tackle by Joe Lemon. On the coverage, good coverage, but that's the kind of play. It's bang, bang. There's not much you can do.
No, you really can't cover that.
You just stop it.
You just make the tackle.
Yeah, well, he did that. 1st and 10, ball 49-yard line. Providence trying to keep the ball moving here. Gettelfinger in motion. 2nd man through. It would have been the 4th man through. It didn't matter. Cole Krininger had nowhere to go. Good defensive play that time. Logan Myers and others on the stop. Loss of a yard or 2.
Will Rama is in the game now at linebacker.
And we got an ambulance here finally.
Yeah, we did.
So that's a good thing. At the end of the 3rd quarter, Silver Creek 42, Providence nothing. We'll take a break, be back with more right after this on Glycod. Stay with us, folks.
This second shift. This old pair of pants. This staycation. This brown bag lunch. At American Family Insurance, we understand what it takes to make your new kitchen, that new car, or your new house a reality. It's the same as it takes to protect it. To protect your new life, your future, your dreams.
Yes, I'm a dreamer.
The Clark County Youth Coalition, Clark County's local coordinating council for a drug-free Indiana, presents What's Your Side Effect? Join the movement of thousands of young people working together to build a better world through living healthy, passionate, drug-free lifestyles. Our program includes tips that will help you live the good life and make chasing your dreams a lot easier. Get healthy, get inspired, get the facts at what'syoursideeffect.org.
Funding provided by the state of Indiana, Division of Mental Health and Addiction.
You're watching Southern Indiana High School football from Glycod.
Welcome back, Mike Beck, Jim Kazmarek here as our fourth quarter gets underway. 2nd and 12 from the 47-yard line, rather. Fake to Gettelfinger. Jackson Murphy calls his own number. The results would have been about the same.
Gettelfinger is drawing a lot of attention from Silver Creek. So
loss of a yard is going to be third and 12, back to the 46-yard line. And a bunch of Dragons in on the play. A lot of second stringers getting some action now. And they're flowing as fast as the starters were. Murphy puts it in the air.
There you go, see?
To David Wall. Good play.
Yep.
Well designed.
So now he's got a manageable play. He was 3rd and 15, and now he's got 4th and 8.
4th and